everybody, it's your girl,
Hey y'all.
Jazzy Jazz, Brina, and Trisha. We are here on this lovely Saturday, hosted by
What's
Biz
up?
Entertainment Network. We have the ladies'
What's
night.
up? What's up?
What's happening?
How's everybody doing? We're good. Everybody got a drink?
Oh no, I'm getting mine. Thanks for asking.
Okay.
It's shot o'clock somewhere.
It
Okay.
is shot o'clock somewhere. Hey, Miss Hill. Hey, Cuzzo. We love you.
This girl is on fire.
Here we go with this music.
Girl is on fire.
So, hey, y'all. We're going to be getting into tonight our Man Week for dating women with kids. So that's what we're going to be discussing this wonderful Saturday night. And just to get in a little bit about myself, my name is Jasmine, Jazzy Jazz. You can follow me on Instagram, Jasmine Johnson MUA. Come and check me out during the week. What about you, Brina?
I am Sabrina. I'm AKA Brina. You can follow me on Instagram and see all the fun things. I'm always a part of something. I have a book coming out very soon. And I also sell a slimming tea. So tap in with me.
Tap in. What about you, Trish? How you doing? Oh yeah, you're getting a drink. My bad. She's getting a drink. She'll come back and tell us. But we've had a great week. We've had all of us have had a productive week. I know myself, I've been super busy being super mom on top of being, a successful business person. So yeah, come check us out on our Instagram. If there's something you want to see, have questions, don't hesitate to reach out, hit us up. But we're gonna get into it. So just by that topic, y'all. Men weak that date women that have kids. I'm gonna go first with this topic. No, I personally do not think men are weak for dating women with kids. You have to be extremely strong to take on another man's child be a part of their life in any way, shape, or form. So I definitely don't think a weak person is that in any, someone that's dating a woman with kids is weak. I can see where the mindset comes from, but I don't agree with that. What about you, Brina?
My kids are not for the weak. Okay, they are very territorial of me. They're gonna have a lot of questions, and so I don't think a man who dates someone with kids are weak.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people have kids nowadays.
Sorry.
So,
men is settled. Like it's considered like they're settling for that woman because she's already got kids. She's already been in a.
No, I mean, I think that a lot of men like women with kids because they know she's gonna be about her bag. She'll be about her business because she got kids to feed, and she's more responsible than the average. Then some. Not all single women are not.
I was about to say that is not the truth.
Girl, I know that. I have a lot of friends, but what I'm saying is, there's always gonna be food in the fridge. You feel me? There's always gonna be, structure. Okay,
that's funny.
So,
what about you, Trish? What do you think?
I think it's situational. I think it depends on the man and the situation he in. I think that I don't know. There are some men who have had children and they weren't fathers to their own damn kids.
True.
Okay.
So and now their kids is grown, or they regret it, or the baby mama don't want to let them be a part of it because they didn't want to in the beginning, and so they out here searching for a replacement family, and that's a weak ass nigga.
Hello, real ass.
Because when they come, what ends up happening is they come and they try to, replace their kids with these new kids, but it's not their kids. And they really, they just fucked the whole parenting thing up because they never was a parent in the first place. And that's probably why they didn't parent their kids, because they was no good at it. Now they come to this single woman with kids. Huh?
I'm sorry. That brings up a good question. Like, if you're a man that has kids and you don't take care of your own, why would you even let that man in your world to, be a co-parent, that figure in your own kids. Like if I saw someone that wasn't taking care of their own, I wouldn't let them come over here and be like, okay, I wouldn't do that.
It's all kind of reasons why men, because you don't know the truth until you actually with that man and you intertwined and all of that. That man could be telling you his kids got kidnapped by the grandma, or the baby mama is a hot mess and she used the kids against him. He could lie and tell you all kind of stuff why you choose to let him come in your life. And then you find out through trying to help the nigga get with his kids that he never really wanted to deal with them anyway. You'll find out till later.
Gotcha. Well, Cuzzo says, I don't think a man is weak because he is dating a woman with kids, because when that guy meets that woman, they exchange numbers and get to know one another. Once he finds out she has kids, he stays. Like, he doesn't leave because she has kids. Like, that's not a reason to leave. I get it. Hey, Karma, how are you?
Hey, Karma.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like you said, it's situational, but I don't see a weak man stepping in and taking care of other. I haven't particularly seen a man that's not taking care of his own step in and take care of different kids that are not his biological children. I haven't seen that. I'm not saying it's not out there. I just haven't seen it.
I have.
Have you?
You said you haven't seen a man step in and take care of somebody else's kids?
No.
Yes, I have. My ex-husband.
Where his kids aren't being taken care of. Like a man that is not taking care of his own kids, but he's willing to take care of another man's kids.
I've seen it. I'm living it. My ex-husband got married, and his wife was like, where your kids at? You know what I mean? Like he was trying to turn her kids into his kids, and they were like, I already got a daddy.
Gotcha.
So I seen it. They were like, I don't know what you're trying to do, but so she was like, you really need to start building a relationship with your daughter.
Wow.
So yeah, I've seen it.
Wow. Gotcha. Let's see. Karma said, what did I stumble upon? Girl, you stumbled upon a lot tonight. We are going to get into it. Yeah, no, like I said, there may be those situations out there. I don't understand the thought process. If you're not taking care of your own kids, but you want to step into someone else's situation and take care of that. But I guess it would be like, oh, I'm trying to fulfill something like Trish said, I'm going to fulfill something that I missed out on. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like I could get that understanding of it. Possibly. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I don't necessarily. I mean, this whole idea that if a woman has kids, and she gets with a guy, he better accept me and my kids. Okay, he better respect my kids, be nice to my kids. At some point, he should grow to love my kids. But why the fuck should he be raising my kids with me? Explain that to me. Why should he
have to do that? Why should that be the package deal? Why do we as women not say, I'm raising my children, these are my kids, my responsibility, and I'm not about to let the next man who's not their father come in and do so? Like, like, where does that logic come from that that's how it should be? And he's not a good man if he don't step up to the plate. Like, in the full fathering role. Because I'm married, and if I could go back, I would have waited until my kids were grown and then married him and moved him in, versus trying to blend families or have him raise my kids. Because honestly, I would have rather did it on my own, and it would have been probably less disputes, less, disagreements. It's different if your baby is an infant, but when you got kids that you done already taught and raised up to a certain age, and then a man is stepping in, he already got to jump into what you already doing. And he may not exactly, you know what I'm saying? Like, the dynamic of a man and a woman, how the role that a man plays, as the hard ass, you know what I'm saying? The man in the family, like, the woman should do majority of the raising and the disciplining and this and that, and then the man kind of jumps in when it's some real serious shit going on. You know what I'm saying? And puts his foot down. He's like the strength, the backup. And that's why so much of a problem happens when you are, excuse my birds, I'm gonna have to put some blankets over them because they acting a fool. Y'all hear them like,
they got something to say.
Don't talk no more, birds.
They got an opinion.
Did it work?
Tweet, elite.
I got an opinion about this conversation.
Right, they are in it because they like, No, but seriously, it's like at that point, you know, do you really want a man that's not your child's father having that hard, that role that a man really does play when you're in a 2-parent household? Like, he's not your kid's father. Eventually, no matter what a motherfucker want to say, at some point in time, them kids, because unless you just saying that's your dad and they don't know they got a whole real daddy somewhere else, those kids at some point are going to give him hell because you know what? You ain't my damn daddy.
So, personal story. My oldest is not who I'm with. That's not her biological father. Now, I met him not going, like, it wasn't initially going to be serious, and we became serious really quickly. And we ended up, you know, her biological father had never been in the picture for his own circumstances, situations, whatever the case. He never wanted to be a part, or was very, I wouldn't say never want to be a part, but was very inconsistent, would say, oh, yes, and then never show up, never follow through. So I'm like, okay, you don't want to be a part of this family. That's cool. Do you go live your life? I'm not holding you back because I had a child. I laid down with you. I got pregnant. You didn't want to step up. That's on you. I meet this man who wants to have a family with me, that wants to have a life, that wouldn't mind being a father to a child that father is not involved. So I had a man step up and be that responsible party for my daughter. She now knows, you know, I had the uncomfortable conversation. It wasn't a comfortable conversation for me to explain that your mom made this decision. You're the best thing that ever happened to me, but this is what it is. You know, you had this man that isn't your biological father that stepped up and is responsible for you and loves you like you're his own. And that will never change. No matter what you say, do, has your back 100%. Is at every basketball game, practice, you know, that her biological father never has once seen her in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are men that are out there that do step up at a younger age. I mean, my daughter was young. She wasn't a teenager. She, you know, and he was a positive person in our life. It wasn't like he came in. I mean, he had his downfalls. I'm not going to sit here and say he's perfect. But that's the relationship we had. That's the understanding that you're going to be a part of my kid's life. She doesn't have a father that's, you know, stepping up and being a part. So that's what he wanted. That's the discussion we had. But it was a discussion. It wasn't like, oh, let's come play house. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, but see, yeah, that's different. It's like he wanted that. You already had a family, and it was like, let's do this. I'm going to step in and da-da-da-da. That's understandable. I'm just trying to understand the thought of when you have a child and you're single and you have a child and you're in the dating world, the thought that this person has to come in and absolutely be full force parent as if they had them themselves. Like I'm there. I don't know if I agree. Like that's something that has to happen. I agree he has to love the kids. He's got to accept the kids, or she should love the kids and accept the kids. But full force parenting, I think that's situational. Like in your situation, that was a good thing.
Right.
In other situations, it's not so much of a good thing. And it's not because the man that steps in isn't a good man or he doesn't love the kids, but maybe the kids don't want a damn daddy. You know? Like your
right.
What is
like
it? Your
if they already have one that's involved, or you know what I'm saying? Like if you have a dad that's involved, you don't need another man stepping in to be your dad. You have
Some
a man.
kids don't want a dad because they don't have one and they don't want one. You know what I'm saying? Because they're good and they're used to not having a father, or they're
Right.
used to not having a mother. So why do I need one? I don't
Right.
need you coming in. I got my mama. My mama is my mama and my daddy. Some kids
Right.
look at it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
We getting into it tonight, ladies.
Mhm.
Well, let's get into our first video because we haven't even had a video. So let's go ahead and get into it because I know there's a lot of different perspectives that are about to come out.
After you was having a conversation with her. And then we'll just open it up for the panel debate, have a discussion, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip right now. Here we go.
You said that a man that takes care of another man's child is weak. That's what you said. Can you please explain why?
That's not your child, that's not your responsibility. Your intentions may be in the right place, but it's not, you're not gonna benefit from it. It is very rare. I know y'all love to use Shaq as an example.
Shaq.
Shaquille O'Neal, I think he wasn't raised with his biological father.
Oh yeah, right.
But how often does that
And
happen?
LeBron.
That's very rare. And even so, children deserve both of their biological parents, which is why it's imperative for both men and women, but mainly women, because there's more women out here with children out of wedlock than men. Pick the right person the first time.
So now, what if that doesn't happen?
I don't know what to tell you. Focus
No.
on yourself. Focus on your child.
Because you can't say. So you're saying that every man that takes care of another man's child is weak.
Yes.
It is impossible for every man to grow up. Well, right now, as we're talking, every man does not have a man in their life. Or every child and every boy and every girl does not have a man in their life. So who's supposed to take that role as the man in that life?
The biological father. If the
Okay.
biological father is not there,
Then
maybe.
Okay, well, there you have after you was having a conversation with her. And then we'll just open it up.
She sounds bitter.
Yeah.
Bitter.
I just like to answer. He said, who's supposed to take that on then? Uncles, grandfathers,
Family.
males in your family who are fathers to their children.
Right.
They're supposed to take that on. You don't see that happening the way you should, but that's really what's supposed to happen. Even back in the day, if a man divorced his wife or left or didn't do right by his wife, his brother would take care of his children and be that father figure for the ex-wife and the kids. So a family member damn sure should step up.
I don't know. I think that should be just in general, like your family should be involved, like as positive male figures. You know what I'm saying? Like not even just because you're a single parent, but should just be a positive role model for their children and their family in general. You know what I'm saying? But not a lot of people look at it like that, you know, but I think in particular, that particular lady wasn't able to back up her statement with the fact. She was just saying, I think that a man is weak and the biological parent should step up. In a perfect world, the biological parent, you know, there's one parent taking care of a kid, obviously, in most scenarios, but the parent should be there in some form or fashion. But if they're not, you can't fault another person. That's like adopting a child. You're faulting the people that adopt a child. Like that doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't register. Like not in a negative, like it's not negative that someone's.
Yeah, no, I don't think a man is weak because he's taking care of another man's child.
Yeah.
It does make him, however, a special individual.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because not everybody, not everybody can adopt a child. Not everybody can step in and be that parental figure that a kid needs. You know, it's. I don't want to say it's difficult, but from a standpoint where there's not your child, it would be difficult. There would be uncomfortable situations that you would have to overcome. There, you have to be a special person to take that on. Period.
Yeah.
You know. Period.
Yeah, because there are a lot of damn things that come into play. When you're not somebody's biological parent, you know what I'm saying? You could go spend your money on something else. Like, don't get me wrong, you know, my husband and everything. I mean, he stepped in and, you know, he bought things and, you know, did things and disciplined in a certain way, you know, at times. You know what I'm saying? But see, those were things we had to deal with because you see, you're gonna be easier to let the father reach over and pop your child, the biological father, than you are your new boyfriend or the new man you're with to reach over and just pop your child. You know what I'm saying? As much as you love that man and you trust that man with your life, you don't play about your kids. Your kids' life is something different. So it takes
talk
time
about it, girl,
to build up that kind of trust. And some women can never build that up. And nor do I fault them for not doing so.
Right.
Sorry.
It is a proven fact that there is always going to be a difference when a child is not biologically yours. There is a difference. I know that from being a stepmother. As much as I loved my stepkids and wanted to be in their life and be a part of their life, listen, I raised my kids from the ground up. They know what I like. They know what I don't like. They know what the looks on my face mean. You know what I'm saying? When they irritate me, it's totally different than when the kids, the stepkids come in for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Or they come for the summer. And maybe they mama don't raise them the way you raise yours. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they lack respect, or they're not as clean, or this and that. And even though you're treating them like your children, I don't care what nobody says. People get mad at me, think I'm a fucked up person. I don't care. Judge me. But there's a difference. There is a difference. Your patience is different. Your everything, your understanding, everything is different. I understand. I can take care of either one of you ladies can send your kids to me, and I'm gonna treat them like mine. But when they irritate me, the irritation is gonna be different than the irritation that mine gives me. Do you understand what I'm saying? My tolerance, I'm gonna be ready to send them back to your ass. Your kids, you're not ready to send back nowhere. You get what I'm saying? So that's all I mean by there's a difference. No matter what people want to say, all this hoopla, this my child, that's my child, I've been there since birth. Yeah, you have. And I'll give you that respect that you have been there since birth and you've been taking care of them. But if you did not spit them out of your loins, if you did not have that sex to make them babies, there is going to be a difference in everything.
See, I think I really lucked out, like personally, with step parents. So my mom's husband, he was like very just a loving person. He was a people, like everybody loved him, right? He was like, take the shirt off his back to give to somebody that's on the side of the road that looks cold. Like that was just who he was. He tried to help everybody. And so when he met me, it was like, he didn't care. He like whatever I wanted, any, you know, whatever it was, whatever. And then when I had my daughter, he was like so excited to be a grandparent. And that's my stepdad. You know what I'm saying? Like there are people I believe are cut from a different cloth that love everybody. And so it may not be one of those people, but he was. My stepmom, now we have a different type of relationship, I think because of outside family members that did not let the relationship grow organically. And so I had a lot of misconceptions about her when she first came about. But me and her, like thick as thieves. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was old enough to have a conversation like what is this and why was this? and it was not that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of times the relationship between me and my stepmom was kind of taken from me, because had I known the truth, I would have like been closer to her or had more of that bond. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy where I am now, and she loves me like I'm her own. So I don't personally know or have that experience where she may, be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're dealing with your daughter. But she's never treated me like that or made me feel that way. So I don't know.
Yeah, but see, I'm not necessarily saying the person is going to make the child. Like, I would never in a million years make a kid. Like, I'm the type of person that I have taken my kids' friends in, fostered their friends, runaways, running away, fighting the mama, running away to be with the boyfriend, and the mama didn't call the police, and just so she won't go into custody, I've taken people's kids into my house, and I've loved them and raised them like my own. And when they were doing shit that got on my nerves, I didn't let them see it, but it did affect me differently than it affected me when my kids did shit that got on my nerves. Point blank, period. But I didn't say, you ain't my kid and you getting on my nerves. I can't believe I got to deal with this shit. It's not my kid. No. I mean, I get that I'm genuinely a person who just loves. But see, that's a difference when you're dealing with a person who loves everybody. So was he treating you different than he treats everybody in the world? Probably not, because you just said he genuinely treats everyone like that. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So
I think when people know how to love themselves, they know how to love other people. Everybody don't love themselves.
I think that when people know how to listen to other people and how they need to be loved, that's when they can love the other person properly. I can love myself good all day long. I could love myself to death, but not know how to love Jazz. Do you understand? Because the way I love myself might not be the way she needs to be loved. So love is not what we think it is. It's what the person we're loving perceives it to be. If I'm
patient with myself and I'm kind to myself and I take care of myself, then it's easier to like unconditionally do those same things for other people. But everybody has their own perspective. That's why we're here.
I think it's easier, yeah, but I don't know if I think just because I love myself, I'm gonna love somebody else.
Do you think I am capable? Like you're so in love with your partner that you love their kids just like your own? Like, because for example, because I lived in Texas and I needed to come back to California, my stepdad drove all the way to Texas. Or no, this was before. He drove me a car because I needed a car. This man drove all the way from California to Texas.
Wow.
Car, and then I took him to the airport and he took off. When I needed to come home, he hopped on a flight and drove my car back to California. So I wouldn't know a step parent to really do that really don't, fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's not doing that for everybody, but I don't know if it's for the love that he had for my mom.
Right.
Down to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
It's got to start with your mom. It's got to start with your mom. But listen, sometimes it's not always just because they love your mama. They genuinely fall in love with you as a child too. You know what I'm saying? Because what if they were to divorce? He probably would still be there for you.
Oh yeah, he's since passed away. He was a great man, but yes, I think oh my gosh. He would be here. Like we talk about it. I'll be like, he'll be at all my daughter basketball games. He would be that. Just that he truly loved like me and my daughter. He would take her when she was little. He's like, oh, I'm taking her to the park. We're going on a walk. And I'm like, okay. I was like, you sure? Oh yeah, I'm going to the park. We're going to have fun. I'm like, okay. He just.
Yeah, I think it starts with the parent, but they fall in love with the child too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A real step parent that steps in and treats a child like their child is going to be there regardless. Let me tell you, me and my husband, we separated for about 3 years. And in that time, Now I haven't been able to be a step parent to his children. It just wasn't possible. It had shit to do with me. It had to do with them. Like, the girls came, they lived with us for a little bit, for about 3 months, and they were angry at me, angry at my kids, angry at just the fact that their dad was there. You know what I'm saying? And not with them all this time. So that put a lot of anger and distance between how they would accept me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the enemy now. You know, they lived with their grandmother, and their grandmother, they didn't have this, they didn't have that. They came to my house and they're like, your kids got all the clothes, your kids got warm water, your kids got, and they were like disgusted with me for being a good parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it felt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But when we separated, one of his daughters had a moment where she didn't know where she would be living, and it got to me. And I called her, even though she didn't curse me out and talk shit to me, had all these issues with me, and she was a grown-ass woman. I called her and said, I can't do much for you where you are, but I can send you a ticket for you and your child, and you guys can come here and live with me. And I wasn't even with her father. So it is who you are as a person individually. For the most part, if you're a good person, if you're a person that can love and does know how to love in any kind of way, and definitely you love yourself, of course you can extend yourself and you can do the right thing, no matter what the situation is. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's the individual, and everybody don't have that skill.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely, when I was dating, even though I had a child, I was like, one thing I was like, as I got older, I was like, no, I don't want to date a man with a kid, because I didn't want to deal with any drama that came behind it. Not because I was full of drama. I just heard really bad stories, and I was like, I already have a kid. Like, I don't need this nonsense. You know what I mean? So I understand that aspect of not wanting to date a man with children. Was it a deal breaker? No, but I feel like I was really lucky that I did find a man that did not have children, who stepped up to the plate for me, when I, not necessarily needed it, because I had my daughter, she had everything. We had family involved. I had all that. I didn't need him to be a dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just kind of worked out that way. So.
I think when you're in that situation, it makes it easier for the man to step in the role as a father, because there's no pressure. You know what I'm saying? You're raising your child. You're not asking him to do nothing. You're not expecting it. See, that's what I was talking about earlier. How we as women, we expect it. Oh, if you're gonna be with me. If you're gonna be with me, you're gonna accept my kids. You're gonna help me with these children. And I don't think we should be putting all that on a man, because when you get with him and you put that on him, you put that expectation, you put that pressure on him, you may get a diamond and you may not.
Right. Absolutely. No, Karma says, yes, that's a fact. If you love the man or woman, you will love those seeds just as much. And then Truth Be Told says, I'm glad I haven't had to deal with baby mama or step parent drama. And then we want to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Biz Entertainment Network. Thank you for tuning into Ladies Night with myself, Jazzy Jazz, Trisha, and Sabrina. Thank you so very much. And then Truth Be Told says, hell yeah, I'm a package deal. My kids come first. Now, thank you for bringing that up, because a lot of people don't put kids first. A lot of people will put themselves first. He says, hell yeah, I'm a package deal. My kids are first. Or my kids, I said my kids come first, but it says my kids first. Do you think that's really happens in a situation where if you're in a serious relationship, your kids come first? Or do you come first? Do you come first?
That's a trick. That's a trick question, because it's kind of true to both. You know what I'm saying? And you could get lost in the factor where you can have the mindset, oh, my kids come first, and then wake up one day and realize you've been putting your relationship first. Okay.
Yep.
And when I say that, I mean like changing some of your views on parenting, changing some of the, or maybe you don't allow this type of music around your kids. You don't.
Mhm.
But when you get married, your husband or your wife listens to a certain type of music. And as the years go on, not because they're older, but because, hey, you want to let your mates be free to listen to the music they want. Now your kids are listening to shit you would never let them listen to. And
Right.
you don't realize it, but that's a small little way that you then went from putting your kids first to letting that relationship be first. So I think that's like, it's a give or take. It can be completely
Straddle the
true.
line. There's like
You gotta really
straddle the line. It's called straddling the line. You're like on the line.
yeah, you gotta really, really, have that mindset and really stick to your kids come first. And sometimes, if that's the case, if your kids come first, then you'd walk away a lot of times, a lot like in certain situations, real damn quick.
I've heard like a lot. Okay, so I've heard the two ends, right? Like I put my kids first for everything. That's how I guide my life. Like all my decision making, I'm putting my kids first. And then I've heard the total like spectrum where, why are you putting your kids first? They are going to leave the nest, and then what are you going to do?
That's why it's tricky. Because at some point, if you continue to put your kids, if you don't take your kids from being here and put them here with your mate, you're going to have a goddamn problem. Okay? Because if your kids are here, then your mate's going to be feeling some type of way. And if your mate is here, then your kids is going to be feeling some type of way. So when you get in a relationship, I believe if you truly love your partner and that's the one you're going to spend your life with, you should have a happy medium. Because, if you just putting your kids first, then if your kid come in and tell you something about your mate, you just going to lose it on him before you even hear his or her story. Because your kids come first, and it's however they feel, you going to accommodate their feelings, no matter they wrong or right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's kind of tricky. I think it should be a level.
I think that is super, super, super situational, and you should be enough involved to know like what's what as a parent.
Right.
I feel like some people become so disconnected when they have another person in the situation or in the relationship that you disconnect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you let whatever happen, and I don't think that should ever happen. You should always be involved.
Exactly.
You said you let whatever happen to what?
Like your kid. Like your kids are telling you, oh, dad's doing this, dad's doing that, dad's oh yeah, he must have a reason. Versus being in the situation and knowing like, oh well, what's going on? What's happening? Is you know what I'm saying? Like you have to be involved.
I'm telling you guys from experience, a 15-year relationship, I put my kids first, and that caused a problem in my relationship a lot. Because if my kids were uncomfortable, or I felt something was emotionally, mentally, or I just didn't like, you know what I'm saying? Because listen, I didn't like the way it affected my child. Listen, I could turn around and look at my child and she disrespect me, and I haul off and do what I need to do. But if he did that, I'm gonna feel some type of way.
Right.
And he been there since the little one was 6 months old. Right. But I'm gonna feel some type of way. I'm sorry to say.
Mr. Burns.
Behind the stage, you were saying something. You were saying
that applies to men. That applies to men and women. I'm a woman. I'm childless. I refuse to play stepmommy to anybody's child. If I'm gonna raise a child, it's gonna be my own. I don't date men with children. For what? I don't have any kids. I would prefer to be with someone who doesn't have kids either. I don't see how I would benefit from raising an egg I didn't hatch.
An egg I didn't hatch.
An egg I didn't hatch. I love
it. We don't hatch, lady. There's where your first went wrong.
Right.
But yeah, no. I'm sorry. Pick apart that whole statement, but I'm not going to. Now, like I said, I
feel like I'm a mom first. Like I can be in a relationship, and I have been, but I never want my kid. Like I feel like there just has to be a balance. Like Like you're a mom first, because you just want to make sure that your kids grow like mentally, emotionally. A lot of people have a lot of mental health issues,
right?
And a lot of kids get neglected. So that's like my worst. Like, I never want to do that, and you just gotta have a balance. That's just what I think.
I think it's a balance. As for you, it helps you as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Right.
can't divulge all your energy into one thing because, like I said, it's that your kids are going to grow and move out. They're not going to be a constant. That is the
Right.
goal for you as a parent. Them moving out and being successful individuals in the world. That is your goal. And I think a lot of people get so attached to their kid, or they put just so much. It's like when they leave, they're devastated.
That's okay. I got grandkids now.
That's too much. I'm good.
I don't want those like anytime soon, but
yeah, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much. And I got a 22-year-old and a 21, and I'm that's too much. Let me find out.
What are you talking about?
Now let's talk about this not dating men with kids.
Okay.
Ooh, shit. Let me tell you something. I would never, ever, ever. Okay, let me not say never because that's just such a ridiculous word. But I would not choose to fall in love with a man who has a child and expects me to be a parent to that child.
Wait, you said fall in love,
and
girl,
an
you
adult.
who you fall in love with?
What you say?
You can't choose who you fall in love. What do you mean?
Yeah,
like
you can by walking the hell away before you get there. Yes, you can. You can walk away before you. You know when
you're
you
not
falling
in love. Then you have conditions.
Girl, you know when you falling, and you can choose to walk away, so you can't fall no more. You sure can. You sure can. And if it's my choice, I'ma choose to not. And this is a clear thing. Please listen to me. Choose to not fall in love with a man with children who expects me to be a parent. I will be an adult. I will be a loving adult. I will be an adult who is a parent to someone, to my children. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm not going to parent your child. Not doing it.
You feel that way because you are a parent to children already? Like if you didn't have any kids, do you think that would be, or what if you can't have children? Is that an automatic, like,
I don't know. I feel that way because I have kids that are now 21 and 22, and I have a 15-year-old that I'm waiting to get up there too. And I don't want them to have grandkids. I don't even want to hear the birds chirping in the back and have to go feed them and clean they mess up. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't want to go back into all that responsibility of parenting. Like, no, not going to happen.
Parenting is a big responsibility. Girl, I'm in it. It's a huge responsibility. And like, I don't know. It's just a huge responsibility.
If I date a man with a kid, I'm going to be like, what's up, little girl? And that's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do nails. She can come to the shop and get her nails done. You know, like, I'm not saying I won't be nice to the kid.
Would you bond
with her? But I'm going to be nice to the kid like I'm a Sunday school teacher or something.
No.
Would you bond?
Yeah, be like the Sunday school teacher.
You said you love everybody.
Ladies, I have something to say too. Damn it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. My bad. Where are you? I want to see your face.
It's hard to know when you're talking if your face not there.
Because y'all wasn't letting me talk. So, anyways, and it's Pisces season in this bitch, so I think y'all forgot.
Oh, let me mute my shit so you definitely have the floor.
Guest, we want to say hello to you, and Sabrina is going to say something real quick. Hi, how are you, Rochelle?
Hello,
Rachel.
How are you?
I go by Irebe, but my mother named me Rachel.
You go by
Rachel. How you doing, girl?
No, I said I go by Irebe, but my mother named me Rachel.
Irebe.
Okay,
Irebe.
Said it right?
To call you.
Irebe.
Oh, okay.
Got it. Okay.
Got it.
Sabrina was just gonna give her thoughts, and then we will definitely come back to you.
Okay.
Thank you. Because these ladies, they didn't let me say nothing. So what I was asking Trish my beautiful sis, is would you bond with the kid, or you just gonna be like, you just do their nails, get them some candy, and have them get on?
Well, the thing is, kids love me, and you know what I'm saying. I genuinely love, like, well, it's so tricky. Yes, I would bond with the kid.
I know you
Okay,
would bond with them.
I would bond with the
I'm
kid
asking
because
her
I
a
just
question,
have that
guys,
good
not
nature.
you.
But
Thank you.
I like, you know what I'm saying? Like, kids like me. I'm friendly with them. But it's not just kids. It's the elderly. It's because I'm just a nice person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I would love the kid, but I don't want to. What I said about that pressure of package, you gonna raise my kids, you gonna be the parent. Like, I don't want that pressure. I don't want it. I had it. I did it, and thank you.
Can we get Miss Brina and no, speak, Miss Brina. My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was just my question. I don't know if you guys know this, but I was adopted by my aunt and my uncle. They were amazing parents to me.
That's good.
And because my birth mom had drug problems, but they weren't able to have kids, and they loved me and still love me and treat me like their own.
That's amazing.
So I'm just really blessed, that was the situation. So I've never really seen anyone or been around anyone who doesn't like just love kids. Most kids are so innocent, and they just want love. And even just because they have a mom don't mean that their mom knows how to love them right.
Oh,
they just want
absolutely
love,
not.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No, I love the babies. I just don't want none.
No, I'll tell you, girl. Okay, that's all I had to say. Continue.
Okay, we can go now. It is Pisces season. Oh, Pisces season. I love it.
Pisces season in this bitch. Don't forget it.
So let's learn a little bit about you. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the tribe and to Ladies Night.
Hi. Well, I go by Irebe. However, I'm a musician, a mother of 4. I'm also I guess, sibling to 11 people. I have 11 siblings. I come from a big family.
Where are you located? I'm sorry. Where are you from?
I'm from Virginia, but I'm located in Los Angeles right now.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Got it.
Well, I'll say half my life I grew up out here, half my life out there. My father lives out there. I have a stepmother who I'm very close to, who really gave me a lot of guidance. And then I have a birth mother who I wasn't as close to, she gave me guidance too. It's just, it was just different. That's all.
Yeah.
But,
thank you so much for joining us. We were talking about a bunch of topics, but the main topic is reacting to men who date women, or that men that date women with kids are weak. How do you feel about that statement?
That's a false statement.
It's a false
entirely.
Statement. Yeah. Gotcha.
Because I feel like anyone who's willing to take on, not just because men take everything as a responsibility, anything that's around them, right? So it's like whether you're their friend or like their relative, they take you on as theirs. So if they say they want to be with a woman who has children, that means that they're taking those children on as part of their responsibility, and they're willing to cover them. And to me, that's saying like they're really strong. That's special too. Like, they're really strong to me, because it's like some of them aren't able to haven't had their own children. Some of them have had children. Their children are already grown, and they're still willing to give of themselves to be that guide to someone else's children that they chose not to, or may for any whatever circumstance not just be in the picture. I love it. I think they're powerful.
That's awesome. We all pretty much had the same, I think you have to be a strong individual to take on another person's child. That's just in general. You have to be a special kind of person to be a good person to step in, not just someone that's in and out. but like a truly good person that's going to make an impact on their life. But hey, Cuzzo, hey, Vicky, hey, Maria, hey, Nyla. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in the ladies' night. We're going to go ahead and get into our next video in a few moments. Next video.
Or names, and I just like that. That's a goofy statement to even make, because then everybody gets to choose what they do. Now, if you decide I choose not to do this, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to. To try to make fun or make somebody's wrong.
Who did I make fun?
Literally saving a life. These are children. These are children who may not, if they don't have a mom or dad in their life, or they don't have this other person to help them. Now, what is their life like when they grow up?
Who did I make fun of?
The people that do the most craziest shit, the killings,
who did I make fun of? Who did I make fun of?
She said because you're calling them weak. Like calling them weak.
Okay, how is that making fun of somebody? That's my opinion. That's not me making fun of somebody. That's just my personally. But if I was berating the person, then that'd be different. But I didn't make fun of anyone.
A person may rated
for them and help someone's life. It's just like, why?
How many men get screwed over by doing exactly what you just said, right? How many men get screwed over? Let's be very clear. You could sit there and help a woman take care of another man's baby. If she wants to, she will still cheat on you. If you marry her, she will still leave you if that's what she wants to do. And then she can turn around and put you on child support for that same child. How exactly does the man benefit? You're gonna save somebody else's life while ruining your own, possibly? For some coochie?
We know he don't benefit.
When a lot of them are still smashing their baby fathers? That man usually still have access to that pussy. Let's be very clear.
Wow.
That whole access and still smashing your baby daddy, sweetheart, never.
Yeah,
I would never smash a baby daddy again. Never. When that was done, that was done.
That's all I had to say.
Okay. Now the rest of that we can talk about.
Yeah, like, good gosh. Like, the facts of being weak aren't standing, or what the people are saying, like, our facts of being weak are not true facts to that statement. They're facts to other statements that are surrounding.
I didn't hear any facts. I just feel like they're saying men are weak, and they're not giving no facts at all. They're just saying, this is how I feel.
Right, their opinion.
Yeah, that's just their opinion.
Miss Hilt says she's been raising her stepson since who was 3 months, since he was 3, and now he's 19, still going to be her little baby no matter what. So, like, some people just have that in them. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I think that there's some people that just can get attached to a child, raise them like they would be their child, and that's okay. I don't think it's someone's weak for it. I don't think that someone has ill intentions or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to a child, like Brenda said, they're innocent. There's just, I don't know.
You got aunties that be raising their nieces and nephews who got their parents that's real good parents in their lives, but the auntie steps in and is a whole nother parent. Got that child just like her child too. I mean, there are just people with that type of energy. And that's what they,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So let's see. What are you coming in, bitch? Are you not coming in? Come on.
You see him doing something? Oh.
No, I just kind of wanted to hear Brina and Miss Rachel thoughts.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking about like the fact that she mentioned, like, how do they benefit? How do they actually benefit from helping single mothers raise their children? Because I know, what's your name, Trisha?
Yeah.
You mentioned the like not wanting to like parent like another man's like children, right? Like some men feel the same way. It's like, how would they benefit from parenting our children if some of us, not all of us, there are some women that will literally, that are, how do you say it? I guess shaky on what they want. So they are still involved with that either that father or other men, and then they got this one man doing all the work, and it's like, for what? Like, he's doing all this, and then that same man, she'll make him work for the net, you know, for the goods, and he'll be like, you know, you gave it up to that man. I'm taking care of his kids. You know what I'm saying? So I get what she's saying, and like from that point of view, because it's like, how do they benefit? Unless that woman is willing to lay down all her cards face up with him and be fully honest and transparent about everything, and also have an open relationship, a line of communication between he and those children's actual father. If he is someone who's still involved, you know what I'm saying? Because some women try to separate the two, and then that causes a discord sometimes. Because it's like, okay, what are you telling him? Then, you know. So it's just like everybody, I guess, in every relationship is different, right? So it depends on their level of trust between the two people, not just the people in the relationship, but the father and mother of the children. You know what I'm saying? So they have a level of trust, because, you know, a lot of times, because I have children, of course, I'm a single mother. Their father asks who is around them. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's in Florida, but he still wants to know, like, who is around my children, who's around them. So he would like that communication himself to be able to talk to them. That way, both parties know, I'm not involved with you. I'm involved with him. You just but he has to be able to I guess take the whole thing like, hey, yeah. Some fathers will freaking, I guess, get this chip on their shoulder, like, oh yeah, that's my child. It'll make them step up. Some of them will make them step up, because they'll be like, dang, another man working for my child, another man taking care of my child, another man covering my child, another man protecting my child. I'm not there. Yeah, step up.
Right, for sure.
So, for those who choose not to step up, you know what I'm saying? For those who choose not to step up, they'll feel that way. But for those men who are constantly in their children's lives, they won't feel no type of way off of another man also helping supply for their child. They'll be like, you know, you're actually caring for not just, you know, my ex-wife or my spouse or whatever, ex-spouse or girlfriend or whatever. You're also being the sound mind in the home. You're being that voice of reason, and I appreciate that. They'll be able to, you know, see eye to eye in it.
Yeah, some fathers can respect that this man is there and he is treating their children well, like he would his own, or in the way that they respect. You know, they're like, that's how I want my child to be treated.
I think a lot of it has to do with, if you're not with that person, how your co-parenting is set up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that is already solidified and then you bring another person into the mix, it's already solidified. So there shouldn't be a problem. Like, that's how you should have it. You know what I'm saying? If you're in that type of situation. But it all it all starts with, you know, who the mother and father and how you have that set up. If he's an absent person, if he's involved, like where that goes.
But I do know
some men just don't want another man raising their child, period, because they're very protective. And they, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. I'm protective. That's my daughter. You know what I'm saying? If my daughter and my son is cutting up and you need a man to step in, call me, because I'm here. And some men feel like that. It's not that they're jealous. It's not that they are trying to be malicious in any way, but it's almost like a mom having a newborn baby and you don't want nobody to touch your baby till your baby a certain age. Well, fathers who are in their children's lives, like really parenting, are protective of their kids. So some of them just don't want another man having that position, because that's mine, I'm gonna raise it.
I've seen a few of them and spoken to a few of men like that, and they've expressed the fact that, well, not just on the father side, but on the I'm dating a woman who has children side, is like the one who's dating the woman is like, I respect him and I'm not going to cross those boundaries, because men see those invisible lines. They see those invisible boundaries between each other and they do not cross them. You see certain in conversation with each other, they know how to carry it to where nothing escalates. Men, I'm not talking about those riffraffs. I'm not talking about the immature ones. I'm talking about men who do what they need to do when it needs to be done. They do it, and they're able to conduct themselves accordingly and to communicate, themselves effectively, to where not only you feel comfortable and secure and reassured that everything's going to be fine within the whole, collaboration of raising these children, because they're not just raised by you and I, you know what I'm saying? They're raised by all the collective force, like everyone that comes around them, everyone that comes into contact with their energy is all important. So, excuse me. So you have the men that's like, yo, I see the fact that you I'm not their father, so I'm not going to discipline that child. You know what I'm saying? So they'll express that to the mother. I'm not going to whoop your child. You know what I'm saying? They'll say, I'm not going to whoop your child. And they'll say, I want you to be in charge of the discipline, or I want you to I want us to come together and create a recipe that works, that keeps me from having to even have anyone think or question as to whether or not I put my hand on your child. You know what I'm saying? So it's all you get what you're saying. It's all in communication, like she was saying. It's all in how they set up their co-parenting, the parents, and it's all in how the people who are dating each other set up their parenting as well. Yeah. Because it all has to be in agreement. It can't contradict. It can't be like wavering, because that causes the child to feel like, I can play this one against that one and that one against that one.
Oh yeah. If your co-parenting ain't on board, you're bringing other people into it to help you parent is not gonna work either. It's gonna be a problem. You definitely gotta, if both parents is in the kid's life, raising the kids, y'all gotta have a very good structured co-parenting.
Right.
And everybody else will fall in line. The respect, everything will be there, and y'all could be like, everybody could have mates, and everybody could be in the kids' lives properly.
Yeah.
Right. No, I definitely agree. Like, it just has to. You have to be all on the same page, and then it's only for the betterment.
If it's not my kid, if I'm if I'm the co-parent to your kid, like I'm the step parent to your kid. I'm asking you what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if something's going on or she come to me with something, I'm going to come and discuss it with you. I may say to you, hey, can you keep this between me and you? Because at this moment, she's confiding in me, and we need, like, what she doesn't want to tell you, I want her to still feel comfortable and tell me. You know what I'm saying?
That bond.
Yeah. We're going to work together, but I'm going to always run it past the mother. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Don't you think it should be like the kids know you guys are all on the same page, so there is none of that?
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so everybody knows, we communicate, we talk, we're good, so that there's no getting past, there's no playing this one for that one. Like, that should be established, I think.
Yeah, yes, but there are some things that it's not they're playing. It's not you're this, that. It's just there's some things like maybe it could be anything. A child may feel more comfortable talking to this parent over that parent. There are times that my kids will tell me something and not my husband, and I'll go tell him about it, but I'll ask him not to go back to them about it, because it's not something he really needs to go talk to them about. But I think it's something I want him to know, or I'm going to share. He gonna know everything I know, of course, but it's just you. I don't know. You don't want to. It's not about like, oh, the kids can tell me secrets. No, we're not talking about nothing like that. If If it's something bad or something wrong, yeah, I'm coming, I'm snitching, and we all on them. You know what I'm saying? But it's other things that are just like emotional or growing, learning. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they feel more
Phases
comfortable
they're
talking to
going
me
through.
about a boy and not you.
Right.
So I'm gonna come tell you about the boy, but be like, hey, wait a minute, let her come tell you. She gonna come tell you soon enough. Let her. And cause I'm watching and I'm knowing, cause she talking to me, ain't nothing going on that you need to be. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Right,
it
it's
could
like
just
it's not
be
that serious. It's not like a do or die where you have to step in. It's like let's partner together without that kid knowing that you're a part of it, but you still know because you keep that line of communication open with that parent, keeping them in the know.
Maintain that line of communication.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So when I'm giving that advice back, it's not just me. I know how you feel about what you want, what you wanted, what you would be saying, and I'm gonna be speaking. She gonna be getting the advice from everybody, even though she's only comfortable to talk to me about it right now today. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to break that trust with your child either, because then now what? Now nobody knows. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that I definitely am 100% because they have to be comfortable to talk with someone. If something is going on, it could be as little as whatever, as big as whatever. But if they don't have that, then what's the point?
Yeah, they need to have that open line of communication with someone.
Right.
Yeah, they might talk to you about boys and talk to me about when something happened at school with a teacher. You know, like I get the school stuff, you get the boy stuff, dad get the, the real crazy stuff that they need somebody to act a fool. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what it is, but kids don't talk to each parent the same. Never.
Like I know plenty of families they're blended families. Maybe two people had kids on the other side that ended up getting together, and it works fine. Like I think maybe what you've seen has been tainted, and not to say that can't happen, but that's not every single case. Everything is
Does anybody know the failure rate for blended families? Anybody know the failure rate?
Yeah, it's like
nobody. Oh, okay.
Do you know
why? There's a reason for it.
But there's also 16% of children in America that are inside of a blended family. So I do think those
I'm talking about the failure rate. It has a very high failure rate for a reason. I'm not saying that all blended families fail. I'm not saying that there aren't situations where it does work, but it is rare.
So all those children should just get thrown away, and all those children don't deserve to have a male figure in their life or a female figure in their life.
Deserve a lot, but unfortunately, a lot of times, and I can only speak for the Black community, for some reason, Black people don't really think Black children deserve much, because if they did, they do better. I don't have no kids, right? If I ever decide to have a child, I would love my child enough to make sure that they are not a bastard, because I feel like my unborn deserves that much.
Hey, yo, sometimes it's okay to be a step parent. Every situation is not going to be perfect. And I also don't have any children myself. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it, JR.
Okay. Elle, did you want to respond? Or?
I disagree with everything she said. I said what I said, and I'm standing on it.
Well,
I hate women like that.
And that's what it is. I
hate women like that. I would love my unborn child enough to make sure they weren't born a bastard. Well, what if I was married when I had my kids? Married and stayed married for 10 years after I had my child, and then that marriage didn't work. That child was not born a bastard, but that don't mean that child not gonna get a step parent.
Well, what if their father dies in the midst of you being pregnant?
Mm-hmm. It's all I'm saying. Like, I hate people like that. Ugh.
Anything we do, we have to hold ourselves accountable.
So if they get divorced and then they turn around, get remarried, say 4, 5,
that's
10
adultery.
years down the road.
According to the Bible, I will post the scriptures. When you get married, you are bound till death. If you divorce is against the Bible, you're not even supposed to seek for a way out of your marriage. If you get married and then you take it upon yourself to remarry while your first spouse is living, your first spouse is the spouse that you are bound to until death. So if your first spouse is living and you remarry while your first spouse is living, that second so-called marriage is actually adultery.
Ma'am.
She's a liar.
You said ma'am.
What
Look,
in the world?
look,
Can I just quote
go
the
ahead.
Bible clearly? Because that wasn't it.
Please.
Okay, first of all, you can divorce if your spouse cheats on you. And that happens an awful lot. Look at that. Boo boo. That's number one. Okay. So, secondly, the Bible also says that any person you have sex with, intercourse, you are now married to. So, you potentially are married to 20 other people if you slept with 20 people before you married your husband. So, let's get the Bible. I don't know, Bible thumpers. Speak the whole Bible when you thump.
She said she doesn't have kids, and clearly it doesn't sound like she's married or ever been married. So how are you having such you are thinking of like idealistic views, not realistic. Idealistic versus realistic.
I know.
And only quoting part of the Bible.
Like, yeah, I don't surround myself with people that are close. That's like too close-minded to like not even be able to see another side. Like, I believe this or I think this way. However, there is this, people that can function and flourish and whatever. I don't just be like, nope, they're damned, and that's what it is. Like, no, that's not.
We don't fall in love with just one person in a lifetime.
No
None
way.
of us do. You fall in love multiple times, over and over again. We make connections with people. Technically, if you really want to be serious, touching somebody, you done impregnated them. So we're not even gonna go. We're not even gonna go there. We're not even gonna go there. You know what I'm saying? We're sharing. We're always sharing in this life experience. So it's all about like who you choose for yourself and who chooses to be yours. And for however long they choose to be yours in that time being. You choosing to be together for that time, y'all being together. And then,
is there a Bible scripture up here?
Where it says,
well, apparently we have one, and
it's talking about divorce.
I married an adulterer, so I clearly am good. I'm free to go. I'm clear and free.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
Don't thump the Bible on me in the middle of this ladies' night.
Don't
thump me with that. Listen, don't thump me like that. Okay? I now gotta drink some more wine.
No,
y'all know I read the Bible. I was raised in a very religious house. I believe in the Bible the way I believe in it, though, and everybody believes in it the way they believe in it. That's the whole thing. It's perception and it's understanding, and we all have our own understanding and our own perception.
This is true.
Don't thump me with the Bible.
Okay, I can connect both the first topic and this one right now.
Okay.
Because when you think about it, the very first Bible, the big thick black one, it talks about the fact that men are able to have multiple, they have multiple wives, right? They are to cover those multiple wives and take care of them and all of their offspring. Every last one of those babies. They even take on women they have to take on the women whose children's father died. They have to take them on in the village. They have to continue to cover that village. They cannot leave her out there to be, I guess, to fend for herself.
To be
if her husband were to die, if her husband were to die, then the village is supposed to take her up. One of the men is supposed to take her up and take her under his wing. And that's how they ended up with multiple women, because they were taking care of them. Some men died in just from natural illnesses. Some died from battling wars or whatever. Things happen.
Well, that's a very misconception that people like when they say, "Oh, men are supposed to have multiple wives." Like in reality, it's men taking on wives, not searching
on them. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
It's a responsibility thing.
Exactly.
Not a sexual thing. And that's the difference between society now and society then. Okay? Gotcha. Men want multiple wives now so they can be fucking on all of them. A lot of men. They want 3 different women and can't pay half of the one chick's rent. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. So that be the problem. You see, that be why y'all men be getting in trouble out here. Because if you were to handle your business, you understand what I'm saying? That means be a man to all children and to each one of them women. That means this woman don't feel no way about that woman because she can't tell that woman even there because you handling your business with her. Because it wasn't about taking on the coochie. It was about taking on the responsibility. Men, you know, but we're not responsible no more. I'm going to sip my wine again.
We're not responsible anymore. We have different responsibilities.
Likewise, though, in turn, the women also nursed not just their own, but the other children that other mothers were not able to nurse.
Yeah.
They were the mothers to them. See, we all worked together cohesively. You know what I'm saying?
I'm from a day and age where everybody who see me in the neighborhood cutting up could discipline me. Okay? So I could have been outside doing some bad shit and caught a belt anywhere. Okay? So guess what you did? You didn't do no shit out in the open. Because the neighbor could have got you. The auntie could have got you. But nowadays, because the media has us so scared, because, you know, they're always putting about how this person hurt this person's child or that child. So now fear has us afraid to actually be that village that our children really need. You know, it's fear that makes us not want the next person to step in no more.
Kids are disrespectful. I'm not sure if we're the same age, but I remember being around adults and a group of kids, and we weren't cussing in front of the adults. The minute the adult would leave, we'd be like, ha, ha, ha. But it was never in front of an adult. Here, kids are like, F this and F that, like, you know, I would say it, but I'm trying to be a responsible adult in the moment that I'm saying it right now. But kids are all out there, and I'm like, does your fucking parents know you're talking like this? Like, you need a bar of soap.
I would have never done it. Not if it could get back to my mama.
Man, I'm an adult, and I get around people and it's switch.
Oh my gosh.
Right now, y'all hear me? If my mama came in this audience, y'all would be like, where did Trisha go? Because my mouth would be, no, not one word would come out like that. Not one. Like, it's so bad that my husband be like, you do know you grown. And I'd be like, yeah, but that's my mama.
However,
it might be like as soon as you became an adult, you could cuss, right? So I cut like all of my until I was 18, and then I would let them loose. Not around my mom, my dad. It was more so my dad. And he didn't care. He was like, whatever. You know, he didn't, but he had a bad mouth anyway at the time. There was times he would tell me like a lady shouldn't talk like that. And I had to come back. Whatever.
No, we shouldn't.
No, we shouldn't. It's really ugly. I know how nasty it is. But you know what? I'm going to tell you, my grandmama is nasty by the mouth. She talks crazy too. And I got it honestly.
I have a safe mouth. You could have swore I was in the Navy.
Oh, man.
Or a mechanic, one of the two.
Well, right now you're both doing pretty well. You're doing well. You're doing well.
Look, yes, that's why I don't have that's why I don't have one of them 9-to-5 jobs right there. My mouth.
Those things make you want to say things.
Well, we would like for you to like, share, subscribe. If you want to become a member, go ahead and hit that join button. We just thank you for tuning in, ladies. Now we're going to go ahead and head into the after hours. As soon as you see that link, you're going to go ahead and connect with us and let us know how you feel about the topic that we talked about tonight. If you think men are weak for dating women with children. So let's go ahead and get you guys tapped in. Let's go ahead and get that link up. I just thank you guys for having this conversation with me and being as transparent as possible. Thank you so much. Get that link. Let's get that link.
Yes, and please let somebody come up here who think men are weak so that I can get a real reason as to why they feel that way.
Yeah. Let's get a real, someone that does really think that way or could see that side. Because even if you may not think that, if you could understand that side.
Understand the side of thinking they're weak? I can take my mind there.
Well, let's get into the after hours. Let's get into the after hours.
I see it for like a brief second, like if they trying to replace their family, you know what I'm saying?
I can see what they trying to say. They think they just laid it all out.
Do it again, Jazz. It doesn't work with me because I don't have. I can't. Do it again.
Yeah. You already know.
What's good? What's good? Where's the link?
I think Big Smooth, you back there? Go ahead, put that link up there for him.
Hit that link so we can get everybody on.
Was Smooth the operator today?
There we go. There's that link, everybody.
We came in later. I go to
tap
link
in, tap in, tap in.
I just want to thank my co-hosts, Trish, Sabrina, and
yeah, what's your name ago? Yeah, I guess it must have been a heavy. Sabrina be having a, she be having a lot going on. You know what I mean? That's OG Mama. She's CEO. G-Mom, mom, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She got a lot of hands to take care of, big responsibilities. But ladies, what y'all think of that? Man, y'all think he weak for, you know what I mean? Y'all think he weak for that?
So Iribe was gonna go ahead and tell that she was gonna get her mind to that side so that she could give a perspective from someone that would think a man is weak. So I want to hear it. I want to hear that side.
All right.
Okay.
Well, what a man look like taking care of somebody else's kids?
There you go.
He can have it. He can have his own. He ain't gotta be. What he gonna do? Sit there and just do everything that woman want because he gotta subjugate himself to everything she say. He has to subjugate himself to all her rules. He can't lay the foundation for everything because he didn't lay the foundation for the children. He's not the one who helped her bring them in the world. So he gotta step back. He can't take the forefront.
And some men can't handle that. I'm telling you, it caused a lot of problems in my relationship.
Take a step back.
Yes, because
he got to take a step back at what? What do you got to take?
I'm trying to put my mind there. Okay, I'm not saying this is why we're mind.
She's saying that the woman is like she leading everything. Right. She controlling. You got to follow her rules because they her kids.
Yeah,
take a step back and let her take the
partnership though. Because I've always thought of being in a relationship. If you're having,
so you don't want no structure, like he ain't got no say so and nothing.
No, only if she allows it.
If she allows it,
I mean, but if y'all dating, talking, or fucking, I mean, wouldn't that happen anyway? Like genuine, like wouldn't that happen?
Wouldn't what happen anyways?
Like if y'all talking and you got kids and he don't, and like is that what the conversation is about? Like it's an issue with him taking care of the baby or something?
There was two different sides of the conversation. So we were talking about just a man who has kids dating another woman or a woman that has kids. That's one scenario. And then the next scenario is a man that doesn't have kids that's dating a woman with kids. However, we all were in agreement that a man that steps in to take care of another man's child is a strong person, not a weak person. But Uribe was going from, because we didn't have anybody that thought that way. So she was flipping it and trying to give reasons why that man would be weak. Does that make sense?
I don't smell no weak person in that taking care of another nigga kids.
Right, but what she just said is that he has to bow down to all of that because it's that woman's child.
No, the hell he don't.
You a powerful man. I like you.
If I'm messing with a chick and she got kids, I'm getting his ass too, like he was mine. Period. I don't care what she touched, especially if he off the chain and just airheaded and goofy already and don't know who daddy is. And ain't got no, now I'm finna get, and especially if I'm rocking with you, my mama, I'm not, come on, man, I'm not finna have a little nigga walking around goofy.
How long you gonna take how long are you gonna, what amount of time before you go into that mode with a woman's child that is not yours?
Oh, well, first of all, we growing together and we vibing. So while we growing and vibing already, I'm already spending time with this little nigga. I'm already around this little nigga already. So if I'm coming over there or you coming over here, regardless of civil, somebody gonna, I got kids. Whoa. That's the first thing everybody gonna say. All right, cool, for sure. Well, if I'm finna come vibe with you, I'm gonna check your vibration out. You gonna come over here, check my vibration out. And if everything boo, then we gonna rock together. And if your baby daddy got an issue with it, which I feel like niggas shouldn't have no issue with another man taking care of a nigga kids. But, if a nigga got an issue with it, then it is what it is. Like that, you should be thankful that another man is grooming your kids.
That's why I fought different now. Hell no. I fought different now.
You said it's grooming your kids?
Hell yeah. If you ain't there taking care of your son, and I'm there taking care of your son, you not grooming nothing. You not doing shit.
So let me ask you a question. What if he is there taking care of his child?
Why would I be there then? If he's there dealing with his son, why would I be in the picture?
Because you fucking the baby mama.
Then that little nigga ain't got shit to do with me then. This is toot and boo. We just smacking. That ain't got shit to do with me.
No.
The whole point. Wait. The whole point is
you're dating her. You're getting into a relationship with her.
That still ain't got nothing to do with me. If y'all didn't end y'all situation like on a like end situation.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's not what he's saying.
All right, so me and her dating, and he's still flowing in and out. Taking care of the
that's
kids.
not what I'm saying.
No, the child is leaving back and forth with him, or he's involved in his child's life.
He's an active parent and father, and he is setting a good role model. And a good
man ain't gonna be in that position.
Oh no, that's not true at all.
Some
people just are not fit to be together.
That don't make sense. On my mama, that don't make how that don't make sense. If you sending your son off to his father and you dating some nigga, and your son is seeing this, and he got to go off that.
Hold on. Why would you make? Wait. Why would you make it your responsibility though? That's the whole point.
If I'm finna, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we just fucking, then it ain't my problem. We just fucking.
It's not.
Now, if we growing to make a situation, then it is my problem. Because I gotta be with this little nigga for the rest of my life, or until we divorce or some other shit happen or something, whatever the case may be. Because now I marry her. Now this little nigga, my stepson.
Right. Okay. So my question is that if the father is an active father in his child's life, that's not what I asked. I'm talking to Smooth, because Smooth said that regardless, if he's rocking with a chick and they moving and they growing in that direction, then that child is going to be his issue, because he got to deal with that child forever. So the point, what I'm asking him is that if the father is also active, how do you maneuver that?
Oh man, you just gotta mind your business. As a man, you just gotta mind your business and don't get involved in that. Like you let that boy vibe with his daddy. When he come home, then y'all vibe or whatever the case may be. But in
So
real life, niggas don't get involved in that.
Do you think like, okay, originally you get with somebody, right? And the father's not involved. You've been doing all this work. And then years later they decide, hey, I want to be a parent now. How do you work that into the dynamic?
And you already been dating her? Oh yeah, that's out. Oh
That's
yeah,
out.
bro, you better get on somewhere. That's out. If
Well,
I'm
that
in
negates
work for years,
right. So
and
that
you come in out of nowhere talking about you want to be daddy of the year now, bro, that's out. This coochie been tampered with. These kids has been molded and all that, bro. That's out. You didn't lost
so
this.
why
partner.
even
You
so
gotta
the whole
go jump
point
on
is the whole
Plenty
point
of Fish
is
or
why
some shit or
even
Black Planet or something, nigga.
people,
Like that's over
man,
with.
look, man, people always make it about the kids because that's the cop out. To me, when we make it about the kids, that's the cop out.
Bro,
Because
that's
it's like
what this whole
within,
situation is
it's like,
about.
okay,
All
well,
about a
no,
cop out, bro.
no. Listen. I'm saying it's a cop out because it's like within, yeah, that's true. We should all care for the kids. Like everybody should want to be a mentor to somebody, you know what I mean, to a young youth, right? That has nothing to do with how you dealing with this person that you decide to say, okay, I want to take you on, right? And you may have, it's like, I kind of looked at it like this, and I get the moral hood, and I get it. He's strong for, you know what I mean? But in men's eyes, I was kind of looking at it like this. Like, if you had 10 females, now I could be wrong, of course. I stand to be wrong, but if you had 10 females, right, and 3 of them have babies, but the 7 don't, and they all single, but the guy choose to still get with the women that have babies, that you get what, like, that makes the other dudes like, come on, man, like, really? Like, I get it, but she's more open to date any nigga because, you know what I mean?
Bullshit.
That's not true.
You bullshit.
Yeah, that's
Bullshit. Don't sit here and say because you got a kid, you ain't
That's not
listen.
true.
I date who the fuck I want, and I could get any nigga I want with 50 children.
Exactly. You
I'm
just
not
proved my
prone to
point.
dating any nigga. I'm
You
saying
just
that
proved
I
my
don't have
point.
to just take
This-
any
No,
nigga.
you're not dating
I'm
anybody
saying that
just
I
because
have
you
an
have a
option,
kid.
a
It's not
plunder
a
where men
downfall.
still want me.
Exactly.
Just because I had kids don't mean I can't
See?
get a
See?
decent, good
See?
man. That's bullshit.
You
We don't
you
just
didn't
take
hear what I
anything.
said.
She right. Just
See,
because
you
you
didn't
got
even hear what I
kids, that
said.
don't mean
You
that,
didn't even, nope. See, you
just
keep
because
looking at
she
it
got
from your
kids,
perspective.
she gonna get a good man. Well, eventually, same
Because
goes.
I-
You're saying it like it's a
Eventually.
disability. It's not like, oh, that's a handicap. It's not a kid is not a fucking
No.
handicap.
Yeah,
No,
for real.
nobody's
Oh
saying
my
it's the
God.
kids that
That's how
handicap.
you're saying
The
it
whole
though.
point
Like
was
that's how you're
the whole,
presenting it. Like
That's what he said.
the whole point
these
is
women over
He
here
said
don't
we
have
got
kids.
diseases.
But
the whole point
no.
is right. But see, what you guys did was you guys just interpreted how you see it, right? You
Hold on.
didn't see it how from a man perspective, right? A man perspective. If we're out here and I'm a single man and I'm on the market and I'm literally a bachelor, I can choose what other niggas is like. Well, bro, you know what I mean? Like he could pretty much, you know, it's like my grandfather. My grandfather had a wife, got married, then they divorced, and then he got another wife. But his new wife, he didn't choose a wife that had kids. He chose a wife that was younger, had more kids. They're still together now, over 30 years now, right? And so I'm looking at it as like your options, right?
But
And I'm not saying a woman can't get with who she, you know, I mean, we see women all day that have kids and get with millionaires. I'm not saying that that's not optional, but that's less likely to
What I'm
none
saying
compared
how it
to
was
the majority.
presented.
that's bullshit. But
No,
that's
how it
your
was
opinion.
no how it
Mothers
was
are normally more selective because we have people to protect other than ourselves. So
So
I know
why
from
would
my
why
perspective.
would
No,
you want to? So the whole
hold
point
on,
is,
hold
if
on, hold on,
statistics
hold
would
on.
have said that
Most
stepfather,
men don't know. No, listen. Most men don't know the nature of how those children came about in the first place with any woman until they actually talk to them.
That's true.
And some women actually do respect themselves to the point where they see themselves as a wife and not a girlfriend. So they are more selective as to who has access to their time and their coochie.
And some women ain't even gonna allow you
And
around.
some women are single
Going
and
around
let
their kids.
everybody smash and got a whole lot of abortions under their belt. So when we talking about people who got children and people who don't, we don't know who's murdering and who ain't. We're not gonna play those games.
Right. And
It's,
so is
it's
the
a lot of
woman who has
motherfuckers that
the
went to the
child
chop shop.
still on the
Real
totem
life.
pole to the woman who you know aborted 5?
So you mean to
Like,
tell me? Hold on. This is. So you mean to tell me you got sons?
Yeah.
You would rather, or you would be more okay with your son dating someone that already has a family that's dealing with someone else that's from the past than someone that doesn't have that they can build with.
That's
never
not
said
saying
that.
that.
Real life.
That's
I
not
never
saying
said
Real
that.
that.
life. In my
That's
real
not what I
life,
said.
I don't give a fuck what
I'm just
my
asking
son.
a question.
And
I'm
Whatever
just
he
asking a
loves,
question.
what
We
he
all got
loves.
kids.
he
We
got
all
The
got
only time I
kids.
care
I
about
can't
that
put
We
is
all
when
got
my
kids.
child is underage.
bro.
We all got
I can't.
kids.
I can't put
Would
a. I
you?
can't. That's like putting a cap
Everybody
on
on this
love.
panel
Bro.
got
Hold on.
kids.
Yeah.
Hold
That's
on.
like putting
You
a
got
cap on
kids.
love.
Everybody
Bro.
here got kids. Would you be okay? Fine, cool, with your child, whether son or daughter, getting with someone who already has kids already?
Fact.
Tone. Let
I
me
don't
Yeah,
let me
that's
hear
fine.
Tone on
That's
this.
not a big choose.
I
John,
don't
let me
care.
hear Tone on this because he
Then
ain't
it
spoke.
depends.
Nigga, my mama got with a motherfucker that had
Hey,
like shit.
I wouldn't totally be against it. Like with my child, I wouldn't tell my child like not to like do it at all. But like, shit, if they don't got no kids they self, then I would like tell them like preferably they would want to start with somebody fresh so they could experience the same thing together. You get what I'm saying? Having that first kid together and shit like that is like it's different. You get what I'm saying? But I wouldn't tell them to be against it. You get what I'm saying? Because I've done it. You get what I'm saying? I've been with people with kids before. You feel me? So I
Nobody
can't.
say you wouldn't. See, that's what the thing. People interpret it
No,
as
I'm.
like
I,
you
no,
said.
You said
I'm,
would you
no,
I'm not
prefer?
saying you
You
would.
said
I
would
was
you
saying
prefer?
what I said. I
Would you
said what I
prefer?
said, but I was saying why I wouldn't. I was saying why I wouldn't do it. Why I wouldn't, tell them not to do it because I've done it. So why would I tell them not to do it? It's like practice what you preach type shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
all
I'm
I'm
gonna
saying.
answer your question. Prefer? Would I prefer? I would
Preferably
prefer
no. Like
my child to not take on more responsibilities than what they already have. I would prefer my child to get with someone that they're equally yoked with, and that means children, no children, whatever, because that's what they're gonna have the best chance of having a successful relationship doing. So I would prefer them to, if they don't have kids, get with someone without kids. If they a pothead, marry a pothead. If they a hoe, marry a hoe. You know, I'm just saying, be with somebody that
Match
y'all
your
on the
energy.
same page.
Match your
Right.
energy.
So if they have, so to clear it up, if they have kids, get with somebody.
If they got 5 kids, get with someone that got 5 kids.
Yes.
The
So
hell
y'all
no,
be
no, hell no. Y'all into destruction. Hell no. Hell no.
Let me just say this, vice versa. If my child had
Don't do it.
children, I would not
Don't do
suggest
it.
they go date somebody who don't have kids.
Fuck that.
Because
Don't
I
do
wouldn't
it.
want them to put that responsibility on
Fuck
somebody
that.
who don't got
You got
kids.
five. No, fuck that. Hell no. If you first meet a woman that tell you nigga she got 10 kids, bro, run.
I say you can run too if she ain't got one of them baby daddies or somebody still
Somebody
with her.
gotta be
Run.
responsible, willing to stand by that woman. And if everybody done
Her
walked away
family
from
and
her,
the
why the
village.
fuck are you?
I'm
I'm
wrong.
trying to
I'm
figure it
wrong.
out.
I'm
I
wrong.
had to ask some of these women. Pardon me. Pardon me. I gotta say something. Hold on, you said 5. I had to think about it. Like you gotta dive into the history with that woman and find out what's really going on, and with the man. Because I mean,
kids? Why you single? Why you ain't
why
married?
you single? Why?
You
What's
about to
your
be in
hang
your
up?
40s. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to send up kids.
They probably got.
Are you the one that kept walking away, or did they walk away from you?
I don't care what the issue
I'm
is.
trying to
If you
figure it
can
out.
make it work out of 5 with one, that you
5.
Say that again, Trish.
Okay, so you the 5 kids and 5 baby daddies. Was it 5?
If you couldn't have
I'm
made
trying
it
to
work,
figure it
it's
out.
5 out of 1. But you know
Okay.
what, y'all?
That's a
You know
difference.
what, y'all?
What if it's one?
This is
That's a
where
big
I play
difference.
devil's advocate. So this is where I play devil's advocate.
What if it's
You
one?
never know why
No,
somebody
no,
got
you
so many
can't play
kids.
devil's advocate. You got to stay
No,
on your
you
10.
can.
Check
No,
this
I'm
out.
sorry.
that?
I'm a play
Stay on
because you
your
never
10.
know why somebody got. Listen, some women have multiple baby
This is
daddies,
straight
and no
bullshit.
fault
I
to them.
just cleared
Look
that
at
bullshit
me,
out of
see.
here.
And some men do.
Cleared that shit out of here, bro. You are not
Oh
gonna
man,
Devil's
want
that
your
nigga is
child
in
to
the
be with
background
someone.
like, no.
You're not gonna want your child to be with somebody with multiple kids. Now you're not gonna trip. Cool, that's who you want to be with. Cool, but preferably you're not gonna. You can be like, there's so many other people
Hell
out here
no.
You know
who
what?
are.
Look,
You know
look,
what I
look.
mean?
I'm not
Because
playing
in
devil's
reality,
advocate on that
because
biz.
in
I'm
reality,
playing
Miss
devil's
Jazz,
advocate
Miss
in
on
Jazz,
reality, y'all not gonna date a nigga with 10, 15, 20
come
kids.
on,
I'm
let's
not
be
So
dating
stop
a
real.
it.
nigga with no
No,
kids.
stop it. Stop
Come
the
on,
cap.
Miss
Y'all
Jazz.
not
I'm
gonna
fucking I
y'all
wanna
niggas
sleep
ain't
with a
gonna
Hey,
nigga with
fool.
date
kids,
no
but
nigga with a whole bunch of
Hey, you
kids.
be
Hold on,
hey, you
hold
be
on, 1 second.
surprised, gang. You be
1 second.
surprised. My sister got 9 of them things, cousin. Hey, she
1
gets
second.
hey, she does her
Yeah,
shit.
it's
I just
rare though.
said, cuz
Your
No,
like
no,
sister.
don't be
Tom,
telling
it's
people
rare.
business.
What? Look, Miss
I love
Jazz,
your
I'm a
sister.
real nigga, cuz she
Miss
got 9
Jazz.
of them things, nigga. And she ain't gonna be without a nigga, cuz.
Look,
That's it.
check this
She
out.
gets her
Check
nigga.
this out, Miss Jazz.
I'm just
For
saying.
yourself, your 3 beautiful babies.
Mm-hmm.
Would you preferably want them to be with someone else? I mean, would you want to be with people
It
who has
depends on the.
doesn't
I don't even
multiple
want to
kids?
say a situation. It depends on the person that they're with and why they're in that
Preferably, no,
situation.
preferably.
No, it depends on
Not
why
who they
that
fall in love
person
with,
is in that
preferably
situation.
as a mother.
That's I dig more deeper into the situation and why that person has a kid and is not with them. Is it going to be harder? I tell like there's so many different aspects of what I can just say no. Sure, it would be easier. It would be easier. My children want to date out of their race. It would be easier for them to date in their race because it's less people looking bad at them. But do I say no? I think you should date in your race. I can't say that. Their dad dated out of their race. There's so many
No, we're not
different
talking about
that you
right,
could
but we're not talking about dating outside of your ethnic
I was
group.
giving an example.
That's different.
Was giving
That's
an example.
different. I get that. You're right, because I've done it. But I didn't date someone outside of my ethnic group. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm talking about. If
It's
you
the
was
person. Why does that person have a child and why are they not with their significant other? There you have to know why.
But
They're
that's
not just
the question.
automatically
You just
ex
twisted
because they
up.
have a
You just
kid.
twisted up the whole thing. You see how ladies let her do that shit? This is ladies' night. But all I'm saying is, if your child,
I wouldn't say
you
that.
was
I
like,
wouldn't
hey,
say no.
babe, would you preferably want your child to be with someone that's already
No,
have a
because they could be with
situation?
someone that has no kids and that's a complete fucking asshole beating the shit out of them. So no, it depends on the person.
Yeah, because I noticed a few of my friends that don't have children are
That's not a statistically like rated thing though. That's rare though.
She's
Talk
just
about
saying
something
she
that's
don't.
rare.
Most people said they didn't care one
Yeah,
way
but
or
everybody,
another.
right?
Miss Queen,
But
what you think?
everybody becomes
All right.
everybody becomes like that. That's the extreme is Jazz, like the whole domestic violence thing. That's an
Maybe
extreme level,
it could
right?
be because
But
I have been in that type of situation, so that's where my head goes. Had I
Did
not
we
ever been
did
in
we
that
get
situation
nightly input?
at
That's
a
not
young age,
extreme. That's the norm. So what do we
no,
mean?
that's
That's extreme.
1%.
That's
That's
the
1%.
norm.
No, that's 1% statistically proven. That's
Okay.
1%.
but
That's like
so
very low.
I am not in that
I'm gonna
statistic
go look
because
this
I
up.
never reported that. I never reported domestic abuse or domestic violence. I never reported it, so I'm not in that statistic. There's a lot of people that don't report what's going
Exactly.
on in their home.
Okay, well you can add
Never.
men in there too, but
So that's why statistics are not always the fact.
and statistically proven, lesbian couples have the most domestic violence, and that's proven.
yes, they're wild.
That's proven.
They are wild.
Outside of
They are
heterosexual.
wild.
They are
They
wild.
are
Biz,
loose
Biz,
cannons.
I just want you to
That's where
see
my
and
head
just give
goes.
recognition to what Jazz just said. A lot of people don't report domestic violence. They go through it they get out of it, they die from it, they survive from it, but they don't all report it. There are more domestic violence cases happening than are being put in statistically.
Right.
Like,
And the
recorded.
most ones that are not proven, that are not brought into light, are men who have gone through it, and they don't bring it to light. So you're right. I get that.
There's a lot of women who don't do
Now you're
it.
talking about a unisex
There's
level.
a lot of women who don't do it.
That's changing the conversation. But I'm just saying when we mention
you
the
asked me a
extreme,
question.
You
asked
said
me a
1%.
question, and I gave you my honest answer to where I would rather my kid be with someone that is a good person, regardless of their situation. Now,
okay,
depending on,
you said it's situational.
it's situational. It's depending on the person. Now, because they can be with someone that's single, no kids, and is a complete asshole. Would I want them to be with them? No.
Okay, let's make this simple. All right, both people have money, rich, they got the bread, and they're great people. They'll come from good families, they're great. But one has multiple situations and they got kids, and the other don't. Which one would you prefer your child to be with? That's simple.
Whichever one they happiest with.
Right. It's not.
Okay.
I don't see it like that. If I did, I would be in a
The question is just going to be reversed.
That's what she's been saying to
I
you
don't
this whole
judge
time.
people
You
like
keep
that.
asking her the same question. She ain't gonna change her answer.
I don't judge people
No,
based on
that's
because
what's happening.
you have a perfect life from the outside. What do you?
No,
what do
they
you have
both
in
got
mind?
it. I just told you they both have it. She's gonna be happier with both.
You
She's
don't
gonna-
know
you know
that.
what I mean?
You don't
So,
know.
hey,
You're just giving this fictitious scenario.
I'm just saying. We're just talking preferably, right? We ain't saying what can
It's
actually
not a,
happen.
I
We're just
don't have
saying
a preference. I want my kids to be happy in a relationship. I want them to thrive. I want them to be successful. I don't care.
So
like
it's okay for
I've
them
gone
be
to
with
the
a guy
point
that
where
has
if
5 baby mamas.
whoever they're happy with.
It's okay with them to be with a guy that has 5 baby mamas and they're happy with.
As long as they not trying to fight my kids or anything, they can be with who they want to be with. As long as they not attached to or still fucking with whoever that other person is, they can be with who they want to.
Who is that?
Like it's
Nyla?
all on.
That's Nyla.
Yeah, that's me.
Sorry.
I don't want them to be in a
You know,
toxic
going in,
situation. You're giving like a toxic situation. Like I don't want them
That's
to
not
be
a
in that.
toxic. That's
Hey,
no. I'm just. That's not. I said they're happy. That's not a toxic situation. If they're both happy, these two people who are candidates for your child. Wait, two people who are candidates for your child come from great places, great families. It's just one has more kids and situations, pretty much with baby mamas or baby daddies, and the other don't. Preferably, which one would you go with?
Can I
So
tell
that's.
it?
I mean, but
Does he think you
gave
don't
your answer.
understand?
Next.
Jasmine, do you think he doesn't understand that she understands
No, I
your question?
understand. I understand.
No,
No,
I'm
I
saying
truly
she
understand. She's like
understands your
whichever one
question.
she's happier with. Look, she said whichever one she's happier with.
Yeah,
Clearly.
she understands your question,
And I'm
and
like,
that's her
oh,
answer.
okay, cool.
She ain't changing
See,
that shit.
If we're start, our children are not our children aren't parents yet, so right. So of course we would prefer them to find love when in the timely manner as they're venturing through their young adulthood, right? And to be able to build that plan with that significant other and not have to go through the things that involve them with people who end up with either multiple baggage, whether it's children or other things like traumatic events. I would rather my child not have to deal with someone who also has to go through, who may have to go through so much. Like, I mean, we all have to go to counseling, but you know what I mean? Like, I want them to be able to build that foundation with them. I want them to be able to build the plan. We're going to do this with our lives. I want them to get excited. I want them to be like, that fresh, how children are, how we were, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that fresh love, that first love, and then finding the right one and being able to be like, but that's not always true. That's what we want. As women, that's what we want. But the reality of life is shit happens. It just fucking happens. They might fall in love with somebody, and that person be great, and they be with each other for a time being, and then they end up breaking up, getting a divorce or whatever, and then they with someone else later on.
Yep.
And we just gotta support every decision, every connection, and just be like, yo, if you fall down, baby, I got you.
But that's crazy because there's some people wouldn't support that. No, it's crazy. That's crazy because some people wouldn't support their child if they was in certain other positions, or if your child was a serial killer, or if your child was like.
Can I tell you
come on,
something?
like we talk
Isn't
about
a
this
serial
support
killer
shit.
This is a
dating
ridiculous
someone
conversation because when your
No,
child becomes an
because you
adult,
said
it
you're
doesn't
supposed to
fucking matter
support. No,
what
no,
you
no, no, no,
want
no,
for
no.
them.
When
They're
you say
making
you're
their own
supposed to, wait.
decisions.
When you
Any
say
of my
you're supposed to
kids turn into
support
Facebook
everything,
Barbies, I'm
right?
still gonna support them and love them.
Right.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Your
Right.
kids
Right.
they're gonna do what they want when
Niggas
they
go rob
grown.
a bank.
And you either gonna love
I'm gonna
them
help
or
them
not.
count
Still
that
be
money.
there. Right.
Your
But you have
opinion don't matter. It's just an opinion at that point. God damn it.
right, but
They
there's
gonna do
some
what they want.
Everybody has one.
right. And all I'm saying is there's people that have the support system will stop in certain places, right? Not everyone, but all I'm saying is most people don't understand the fact that you would prefer your child to be with someone who has no baggage like them. If they have no baggage, you would prefer to be with somebody who has no
We
baggage.
all kind of said that some way.
Question.
No, you said some
I have
other
a
shit. She
question
said
for
No,
Biz.
I
happier.
said that in the
I
very
have a
beginning,
question.
Biz. I said I would want my kid to be with somebody they're equally yoked with. But the bottom line is that it doesn't matter. Like what I would wish and want, what's your name again? I don't know how to pronounce it, but she just said the same thing too. Of course we would all want, but reality is like multiple people have said, yeah, but the reality is you're gonna love your kid and they're gonna do what they do. And you want them to be happy. That's the end result.
Question. Hold on, I have a question for Biz. So you have the choice, like your daughter's getting ready to date someone that doesn't have any kids, but does drugs, or someone that has one kid and doesn't
I
do
would
drugs.
tell her no. I would tell her no, don't date him. He's an asshole. This nigga is a druggie. Fuck that nigga.
That's
You
what
didn't
I'm
let her
saying. Like,
finish.
it's just- there's so many
No, she
different
would-
scenarios that could come about.
I don't
She
give a
was
damn,
gonna
but they
stay
would
on
know.
somebody
They would
with a
already
kid.
know. They'd be like, "Yeah, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it twice. You ain't gonna make
Wait,
it 10 seconds in the house. My
Jazz,
dad gonna
were
chew
you
your ass
gonna
out."
add something to that other than just would you date a druggie, or was there like an alternative to that druggie for
Well, the
him?
alternative was that
Give a
someone
fuck.
that's not a
That's the
druggie and that has a
no,
child.
no. I gotta talk to my daughter and show her how to pick men or how to pick fruit. It's
Your
like picking
daughters are
fruit.
not going
He
to
said
listen
he
to
don't want neither one.
No, I gotta show. I'm like,
When they
babe, this
get
is
to
not
that
it. This is
age,
not how you do. You know, like when your child like riding a bike and they fall, you be like, okay, that's not it. We
You
gotta
gotta
do
teach
this
her
again.
now.
You get what I
If you're
mean?
not teaching her that now, you can't do it then. You gotta do it now. Cause when
Now
she
you changing the
already making her
situation,
own
but she just
decisions,
asked the question. You see, now you moving it. She just asked the question. If he came home, he was in drugs and blah blah blah. Whoop whoop. I'd be like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck him. Yo, you a fucking druggie. Your family needs to talk to you. They need to put you in rehab, but then maybe we can come back to the tables. Other than that, fuck that.
so she said, would you rather your kid date the druggie or the person with a child?
She said the druggie with the child. I
no,
mean, the druggie isn't.
I said someone that was didn't have any kids, but was
They were
using
druggie.
drugs.
I heard her.
Or a man that wasn't using drugs that had a child.
Oh, fuck them both. Fuck both of them.
In a realistic,
Fuck
there's
both of
no
them.
fuck them both.
Yes, it is realistic, babe. Why would you do that?
You-
Why would
You do
get-
not have to
Wait,
pick
wait,
the
wait.
red pill
Look,
nor
look,
the
look,
blue
look.
pill.
Look, I would say, babe, why would
Exactly.
you get with somebody who's a
Exactly.
druggie who's gonna fuck your life over, and then why would you deal with a nigga and his baby mama for the rest of your life? Fuck all that.
You ain't
Don't do
always got to deal with the baby mama. The baby mama may be absentee. She may not be a problem. She may be pleasant. Like,
That really just
Yeah, okay,
depends on
take
the
the chance and roll the dice.
situation.
Hey, if she asks me, that's what I tell her, and I'll be like, you can roll the dice on it and see what turns out. It's your life.
Alright.
You gonna end up.
Men simply lay the cards out up front
Yep.
and they say,
that's it.
pick something.
Yep.
Pick your poison, baby. Pick your
Hey,
poison.
hey.
Your next choice, your best
And then
choice.
she gonna make a choice.
Either press forward and continue or pick one of the ones you got choosing you. But
Yeah, that's true.
Pick your poison, baby. Pack it.
There you
Facts.
go. There you
Facts.
go.
You know what I mean?
This was such a
don't
great
want no motherfucking
conversation
poison.
tonight,
I'm high in
y'all.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the hey, that's what I'm saying. The reason why you find like cats
Yes,
who
you
do a
would.
lot of those things, like that's why I don't mind it, because I don't really say much about it, because I think we need those type of dudes around. You know what I mean? Women need some, you know what I mean? Like every woman can't be lonely. Like we need those, you know what I mean? And it's an ecosystem, you know. It's
leave him alone.
it works out, right?
I cannot.
It's somebody for
I
everybody.
mean, don't ask me,
Yes,
but
somebody
it's
for
like
everybody.
it's like don't ask me. If you can get the cream of the crop, nigga, go get the cream of the crop. You know what I mean? So it's like don't ask me. Ladies would do the same thing. So it's like if y'all got standards and
Well, I
a
think
dude got
everybody
standards,
should have
it's upsetting when a guy got standards though. It's upsetting when he's like, nah, I'd rather be with the woman that don't have kids other than the woman
See,
with kids. And it's like, oh,
Nah.
well, you're wrong, because they both could be good women
upsetting.
and they both could love you the best. But it's like, well, I roll my dices, nigga. I take my
I don't
I
think
I
take
don't
it's
my
know.
chance.
upsetting.
I
I
don't
just
have a
don't think it
problem
should
with a
work
nigga
out.
feeling like that because I feel that way myself. I'm not
Mhm.
dating no
I
dude
don't
with
think I
no
don't think
kids.
it's upsetting. I just think you shouldn't count someone out just because they have a child. I don't think it should be a deal breaker unless it's
No,
like a
it's
really
not a deal
bad.
breaker. I think
I
that's
don't
where
think
y'all
that's
keep
right
getting it
to
twisted.
say.
Y'all keep getting it twisted where y'all think it's a deal breaker. Like Joaquin, stop, biz. You making men don't date women with kids. No, it's not a deal breaker. It's just the fact that who's weak. They
It's your
looking at it like
preference.
it's a weakness. It's like the whole thing was that she made a statement that women. Well, this woman was talking about how men who date
Are
women
weak,
are
right.
weak because they have other women out here. And why would you want to deal with another man's woman that you got to deal with for the rest of your life if he's not dead or locked up for the rest of his life? Like, why would you want to deal with that? I mean, and she said, like, I get if the man don't want to be around and the woman want to seek love and that happens, cool, I get it. You know, you can't stop like people falling in
Right.
love or whatever. But preferably, like, it doesn't really benefit the guy in a sense because he still has to deal with, you know, X, Y, and Z. So
Mhm.
that's the only way. Like, I was like, oh, okay, I get that, but cool. If you want to be with a woman that got, you know, I mean, if
Yeah.
she got one kid, cool, I get it. But these niggas be like, you know, like, and no one's talking about like, no one's saying that it's bad. Ain't nobody's talking about it's bad. It was just like, what is a woman's, you know, point of view of men
Right.
being weak? And we know most women are like, no, that's not weak. That's honorable. That he would take that on. I mean, even a lot of dudes are like, that's honorable that he
Right.
would take that on. And
For
I'm
sure.
like, wow.
So you think it's wrong,
I
Jazz,
didn't say
for
it's
someone?
wrong.
I
See,
didn't
that's
say you. I said Jazz.
What happened? Sorry.
You think it's wrong for a person to make that a like anything, like, oh, you're too fat and I don't want to date you because you're fat. That's my final, that's my decision is your weight, or my decision is you got kids, or my decision is whatever, but I choose that's not, I don't want to do that for this reason. You think it's wrong for people to like say, this is my standard, this is what I want, and if you don't meet that, I'm not messing with you for things like kids and weight?
I don't think it's wrong. I think if it's if you don't want to be with someone that's big, that's on you. If you want to try it out and you don't like it, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's
Everyone's
wrong.
entitled to
Fuck.
everyone's entitled to their own
Fuck, Dino
opinion.
is banging
Yeah,
like
I
a
don't think
fucking
it's
who's
wrong.
banging
I
over
don't think that off the bat, oh, you're wrong because you won't do this. Like, it's ultimately your decision. Are you going to be happy in that situation? Are you not? Is it going to be harmful for you? Is it not? Is it toxic? Is it not? There's so many different questions you have to ask yourself, because if you want to try it, if you think it might be something that's beneficial for you or that may make you happy, that's different. Like if I'm going into a relationship with a man and he has a child, but he makes me so happy, and I would be a part of that, you know, and it's a healthy situation, a healthy co-parenting. If it's like drama off the rip and, you know, it's not a healthy situation, then I would definitely have to rethink that situation because I don't want to damage a child in that situation. Me personally, I wouldn't want to take a child through this whole fucking roller coaster of meeting me, doing this with me, getting to know me, getting to love me, and then your fucking mom is acting like a psycho or your dad's acting like a psycho. Like, I don't want to be involved in shit like that. You feel me?
Yeah, I asked you because when Biz was like, you know, people think it's wrong when you say I don't want to date a woman because she got a kid. I don't want to date. You were like, that would be your final, that would be your reason because she got a kid not to date a woman. You wouldn't give her a chance. You were like, I don't think that's right. So that's why I asked.
Yeah, I wouldn't even do it.
What'd you say? That's why I
wouldn't
asked
even do it. I wouldn't even like
because I feel like it's perfectly fine. Like I don't think there's nothing wrong with because that's to me that's you just setting the standard of what you want and what you don't want. Like me, I would never date a person in a wheelchair.
Well, for one, I don't want to have to think about.
I wouldn't.
The
And
fucking
people get mad
baby
at
daddy issue, and then I don't want to have to deal with getting to know the child and building up a relationship with the kid, and then now she want to trip and we ain't together, and then now the kid is still fucked up. Cause like it's the whole point, right? They go back to the kid, right? Like a lot of times, like people forget, like when you involve the other kid, like okay, when I look at like my cousin Notice and Jado, like they have a tight relationship.
Yeah.
Right. So if anything were to happen between like Jazz and Notice, like that would ruin her. You know what I mean? Like, cause right? Cause they have that tight relationship. They have a tight knit relationship, right? For me, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to even play around with that because you can really mess up something that, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just like, fuck it. I'm not gonna take no chances. I'm not gonna roll the dice. You know? That's the difference.
I mean, that's why I said when it's established, like, I mean, me and your cousin are not perfect. There have been times where we have discussed. Is this even something?
He said only a weak nigga will date a woman with kids. Yeah, nigga, you be the nigga that deal with the extra shit.
Anyway,
you be the nigga that deal with the extra shit.
But no, I mean, if we discussed ahead of time, like or not ahead of time, but during problematic times, if we are not going to continue, you're still a father. Like you're still responsible because that's the role you chose. Now, I wouldn't expect him to like say, okay, I just want to see my biological children. I wouldn't expect that based on what I have built, based on what he has built. You know what I'm saying? Any other person may not be that way. You feel me? Like people do use children. Oh, well, because we're not together, you can't see them. Like that's fucking childish. If someone has a bond and like we're talking years, like we've been together over 10 years, that's horrible. I would never do that. I would never say me and you aren't together. You can't fucking see her. Like that's fucking awful. You feel me? Like
it is.
If it's been 6 months and we break up, okay, you don't need to see her. That's fucking 6 months. That's a year. You feel me?
That's awful.
It's different. It's different.
But on the flip side, then you stuck with a person that ain't your kid's father, and maybe you had a tumultuous, traumatizing relationship and breakup, like your breakup was between you and him, but nothing to do with the kids weren't involved, but it was just a you and him thing. And he was such a great kid. Now you stuck with him forever because what? He gonna be around your kids forever?
I think I would be stuck with him forever regardless. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but you know what I'm saying?
There'll be only like for me, there'll be only 2 reasons. If she's that dope, there'll be only 2 reasons why I deal with the little motherfucker. It's because the ninja is in the grave or he's in the penitentiary. Like he's just nowhere in sight. Like, you know what I mean? That's the only way. It has to be the only 2 ways.
Well, what about the third way? He alive, but he's still nowhere in sight. That don't work either.
Fuck all that.
Okay.
Got me fucked up. Hell nah. I'm too territorial for that shit. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm too territorial.
You ain't taking a chance. I feel you.
Yeah, fuck all that. I'm gonna have to see this nigga. And when I
Okay,
do
but
it, like,
we don't
nigga,
even exist.
for one, I'm gonna be checking this nigga like, homie, use a mark. Like use a mark ass nigga for one. Like
But
this
you
is a
can't even
dope
get in
ass
touch
kid,
with
use a
that.
mark ass nigga, right? So that's gonna be a one. So now I'm taking it out of the situation of me and her now. Now I'm making this as a manhood type of situation now. You get what I mean? So you see how ugly that could get? And me, I'm
I
a
know how
snapper.
ugly.
I might shoot this nigga for the, you know what I mean, for this type of shit. So I'm a, you know, so I know me. So a lot of times people may say what they say, but sometimes you don't know the person you're dealing with, and they prefer to make decisions how they make them because they may end up taking somebody. Like it can get nasty, and a lot of times men, in a lot of ways, that's how men can see other men that does that. We could be like, yo, you know what I mean? Like I get it, but you know, like
I hear you.
like when you fully capable too, like you know what I mean, you a single nigga, you know what I mean, you fully capable,
Fully capable.
and you decide to
What
come in and
exactly
now
does
you want
fully
to play
capable
daddy
mean?
and shit.
What does
Huh?
fully capable mean?
Mm.
I'd like to know. What is
What you
fully
say?
capable? What does fully capable mean?
Which on what type of
You're
You
saying
scale?
I'm
said
a
when
young,
you
I'm a
fully
single
capable.
man, fully capable. Fully capable of what?
Of having any, if I'm on the market, I'm fully capable of getting any type of female. You think I'm fuck man, hell no. It's like a vending machine out here, and I ain't just going black, white. I'm looking at all
I'm gonna cut
varieties.
my motherfucking camera off for that one.
Yeah.
Nigga beers is nuts, cuz.
Okay, what you talking about? Shit. He said niggas with no jobs, getting no bills paid. That woman was fucking weak. I get you. That may be like the result, though. That may be like the result of that woman fucking with that dude. You know what I mean?
That's
So
called
if
deep
she,
ass
if
nigga.
that's all her. That's what they get. I mean, that's you know what I mean. That's what they get. But you choose to set up the society. I mean, you choose to set up your life on how you want to set it up. And if you want to choose to deal with that shit or deal with another, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then that's what you choose to deal with. You gotta deal with that nigga for the rest of your life. You give a fuck about paying bills, nigga. You could pay all the bills and do everything, put half and all of that, and she'll still fuck out of here. I'd rather take that chances with a woman that I know is all the kids. You know what I mean? Like that's just me personally, right? It's a preference. Has nothing to do with
No,
values
that's
on
right.
life. You know, that's all I'm saying. And you can put all the bills and she'll still, you know, come on, man. Still get fucked over. All right. So it has nothing to do with like, you know what I mean?
Wall talking shit down there, bro.
Oh, they said that's why I keep
He
laughing. I'm
had his
trying not to
feelings.
laugh. Like this nigga crazy. Him and D
Why
gonna go
though?
ahead.
Hey, they feelings on there. He said those are the type of niggas that scared and fake of their real life. Niggas that will another nigga. Niggas like that will let another nigga ninja fuck them. I don't understand. Yeah, you lost
He's
me on
so
that one.
mad he ain't making sense, huh?
Yeah, he hot right now. He said, why do it if
He calling
why
him
do it if he
gay.
doesn't have to? And that's okay. She just She just has to choose better, right? It has nothing wrong with
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying. That's like everybody think it's a bad thing. Like
It ain't.
I mean, like honestly, if you ask me, like if the question was, would you rather your child to be with somebody who has money and that has kids but they're rich, they're a good person, they're not toxic or whatever, or be with someone who don't have money and grind with them and build with them, and they don't have money, but they don't have all the extra shit. I would like, look, take this journey because you're gonna benefit more in the long run. And that's facts. Kids will be yours and all that. Now I could be, hey, don't kill me. I could be wrong for that. I know that's pretty horrible thinking, but
I just tell my kids don't have no kids, so hopefully they listen to that.
Don't have no children.
Let's see how long that lasts.
First of all, 21, 22, they outlasted a whole lot of motherfuckers already. Okay,
They
they
ain't
already.
outlast me. They ain't outlast me.
They still wait. There's no potential. There's no potential. Nothing out there.
They ain't
Nothing lurking.
outlast
No
me.
chances.
I didn't
Nope.
have my I had my first kid. I was like 23. So they ain't outlast me yet.
Well, at that age, I had my kids. So they surpassed me, and all you want is for your kids to be better than you, and so they're already doing that.
Absolutely.
I was a good ass mama, bad ass kid.
I was a badass kid. I drove my mama crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I'm a good ass son to her now. You ask her now. Feel me? When I was a child, I was bad as fuck.
But I seen my whole life too. Don't get me wrong. I seen it my whole life too. Only people I really saw that benefited from it was when these cats would go off and they do their own thing and they end up having. I'm like, I don't understand how they do this. Like, why the ladies keep doing this? Like, we have to do better. Like, in the sense, and I'm saying and these good guys though. These are good dudes, guys with jobs and all of that. I'm not saying these niggas are fuck niggas. These niggas are good dudes. Right? And it's not like women, I'm telling y'all, when I say women ain't lacking for dick, women ain't lacking for dick at all. There's always a nigga willing there to put the dick inside of it, stuff dick inside of it. It's always
2, 3,
right?
4, 5,
right? We know that.
7, 8.
But that's not what it is. We want somebody who gonna cherish us. We don't want to just be dick.
Right.
Not all women. Some women just want the dick now.
True.
Some women
You
just
right.
want the
You
dick.
right.
It's all sorts of women out here now.
Like if you go fuck, you go fuck.
I'm
Okay,
both.
cool.
I'm both. You know what I'm saying? I prefer to be a wife. I prefer to be a wife. But if I'm not, just give me the dick and leave me the fuck alone. Like it could be either or. Listen.
Let's just be honest. You say. Let's just be real.
I mean, you want what you want. You know what you want. You're at it. I mean, you just know what you want, and that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think I would ever after marriage, try to remarry, or I would just have me that one steady penis that, if I wanted to fake like I was in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? Get it in good, tell a nigga I love him. He would know I was just saying that shit for that moment. You know what I'm saying? And we could maybe go to a movie. He'd be cool enough I could go to a movie with. But please don't try to accidentally move in my shit with me. It's not happening. You can't have a toothbrush. You can't can we rendezvous? Because
don't leave nothing here.
You never get none in my house. You never getting it in my house. I don't know. That's just me if I'm not married.
Hey, I'ma say it. Look, soon as that nigga start leaving shit over there, kick that. Hey, hold on.
He got to go.
I'm glad you brought this up.
I'm gonna pay a bill. No.
I'm glad you brought this up because I'm gonna tell y'all something. Deadbeat dads ain't the only thing that be deadbeat. It be moms too, but y'all won't talk about that. Y'all just stay on the dad's ass. But we gonna get on the moms real quick. A deadbeat dad is just as bad as a deadbeat mom. You are literally giving birth to a child. You're literally giving life, bringing life into this world. You have the audacity to neglect it, to go do whatever you want to do, to go live your life before you had a kid. That's exactly what they go and do. And then as your child gets older, you want to demand respect. You want them to appreciate you. You want them to love you. You want them to do a whole bunch of things that a parent should have done, but you're not a parent. All you did was lay on your back and have a child and allowed somebody else to fill in the mother role that you were supposed to fulfill. Which is weird to me because if you don't want a child, you shouldn't have laid down and had one. And then to be narcissistic, girl, you gotta do better than that. If you never raised your child, don't expect shit from them. Don't even expect them to respect you. Because respect is earned, not given. You think they finna respect you when you walked out on them and they needed you the most? And now that they're older, you need them. Girl, bye.
Girl, bye. Get up out of here.
I agree with her to a certain extent. There are some parents that have tried to be in their kid's life and wasn't able to.
Your sound is messed up.
That's not what she was saying, though. She said you don't want to, and you walked out. She was talking about the woman who decided by choice, I don't want to be a parent. That's what she was talking about.
Okay, though. Then those was, fuck them.
You talking about the deadbeat mamas? What you say?
Yeah, deadbeat
mamas. Oh, them hoes. I'm ready to fight every last mom.
It's okay to be with
her though. It's okay to be with her.
They can see these mother loving hands.
I think it's worse. I don't think it's the same as a deadbeat dad. I think it's worse when a woman has a child and doesn't take care of it.
Listen, I thought it was okay because she got kids. It shouldn't matter. You don't know the situation, but it shouldn't matter. She got kids. You should still be with her, right? The standards still hold, right?
No, what are we talking about?
No, we say she a deadbeat mama. She walked out on her children.
I gotta wait.
No, she a deadbeat working asshole.
Okay, now I'm finna show you. I gotta listen, I gotta find out that she's a deadbeat mama in order to see that, right?
True.
That's not. I'm just talking about a deadbeat mom and how she ain't
No,
shit.
that's true. You do have to find out that she a deadbeat mama.
Wait, so for me, I'm not gonna even roll the dice on that. Wait, I'm not gonna even roll the dice on that.
I know. Well, your sound messed up. Sorry.
That's all I'm saying.
What you say?
So why we even take a chance on it? If you gotta find out if they're a deadbeat or they're a good mom or dad, you know what I mean? Why even
There
go
could
through
be
that?
a single woman that turns into a fucking deadbeat mom. What are you talking about?
You're gonna know if a woman who has a child. Can I tell you something?
The video,
Biz,
Jay
that's a
Smooth just
lie.
played it.
Biz,
The video was
Biz,
talking about
you do-
deadbeat moms.
But
That
you
was
don't
the
have to
video
wait
talking.
to find out if the mom is a deadbeat. You know that off bat. If the woman don't care about her child and ain't taking care of her child, you ain't gonna know she got a kid.
No.
You're not gonna know
you
that.
won't know.
No, that's not true. You don't know that she's a deadbeat mom until you deal with her.
Until you deal with her and see
you
her with
deal
her
with her
kid.
Yes.
Ain't no way in hell you dealing with a woman who tell you she got kids.
Yes, it is.
And you
A
don't
woman can
never
tell you she
ever
got
hear
kids.
or see her with her kids, and you think that she a good mama. How is that
A woman
possible?
could tell you she got kids and still won't be on that level. You know what I'm saying? So you can't even go that route because it's a woman that will tell you she got kids, and you would not know it until you be around her.
I wouldn't be around.
Yeah, I just okay.
Why would
You're
I
not
mean,
asking
there's
me
women who will say that they don't have children that do have children. Those are the deadbeat mamas.
That's
The ones that
Exactly.
that do have them that say that they don't have them because they,
No. It's deadbeat
no,
mamas
I
that say
know
they
a
do
few.
have kids. It's deadbeat mamas that say they do have kids, though.
I get what you're saying. There's some that do.
Exactly. But you can tell a deadbeat mama, okay? If all you see her is posting pictures when the baby got some new shit on,
Trish,
but you don't
Trish,
never hear her
Trish.
kids in the background.
I know
Trish,
deadbeat
wait.
mamas.
Trish, you can
What's
tell,
wrong?
a woman can tell, a deadbeat mom, but a dude can't. We gotta
I'm
see you
trying
in
to
action.
tell y'all how
You
to
know what I
tell.
mean?
I'm giving y'all the secrets.
I'm gonna let you have
Listen.
them.
I'm telling y'all, it's a way to tell. I get what you saying, men can't tell, but you on the panel full of women that could tell you exactly how you could tell a deadbeat mom.
Yeah, cause you gonna
Go
hear
ahead and
my
preach.
kids in the background.
Go
Unless
ahead and
I'm at
preach.
work, you gonna hear my kids. So
You're right.
A lot of times
So
you
would
can't-
so would DJ Envy's
tell
wife
a
be a
deadbeat
deadbeat
mama
mom
so
for
you can't
leaving
tell a
for
deadbeat
20 days?
dad.
Huh?
Who?
Would DJ Envy wife be a deadbeat mom for leaving for 20 days?
Nope.
Just a question. No. Okay.
No.
that's just 20
That's a
days.
vacation.
Did she go on a
That's
trip
nothing.
and her kids are
What do
older?
you consider a deadbeat?
A deadbeat mom is not taking care of her
You should
children,
throw it back
not supporting her children.
for 20 days.
Not
No
being
responsibility to their
Let's be real
child.
with
Someone
this.
else is
Let's
raising
be
that
real with
child,
this.
loving that child, caring for that child. And when she see that child, it's no different than when she see you or me. Hey, what's up? Or hell, she don't even acknowledge her children.
I've been through my share, so y'all know my story. If y'all don't know my story, then damn, y'all go listen to some records. But I've been through that, so I can understand. I can understand what y'all talking about, right? So I don't even take it that deep, right? So I don't play with it. That's what I'm saying. I don't play with the. I already know that. I know that world. If most, I mean, we could say it, but like, I know that world, and I could tell, I could see that. But not a lot of men came from that world. A lot of dudes had good single moms that did the best they could to try to raise them. I get it, right? And whether they may dealt with the kid and whether moms made have shunned the kids from the dads and they fucked with other niggas, and then now other niggas who are looking at those niggas who's fucking with the moms that are not letting the dads, biological dads, see their kid, right? They're looking at them like, "Oh, you weak for fucking with that nigga." You know what I mean? For that bitch, it gets messy. It gets stupid messy, and I don't think a lot of people look at it that way, but that's how it's considered in, you know what I mean, in society. And we say, well, nah, you can't say that because love is this and love is that and love. Cool, I get it. Love is in the air. Every time I look around, motherfucker, shit, I get it. But the reality is a fact that a lot of blended families, 70% don't make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think the more the statement is, I personally, I get where old girl was coming from. I don't necessarily, I wouldn't say weak. I wouldn't use the term weak, but she used a drastic viral sense, right? And that video went viral because she said it that way, right? But do I think they could have chose different or chose better? They know better? Fuck yeah. And they would have, right? If they would have saw better. But you can't knock who you fall in love with. I get that, right? So, you know, it's to each his own. But we looking at the majority in the general scale here, right? Jazz, you're an exception to the rule, right? Like that's because, you know, Ron came out of a different upbringing, so that's a different type of person. You can't consider him on a general scale with everybody else. But when I look at it on the general scale and I see it from just associates and people who I deal with in the city or who I talk on the phone with or just from being whatever the case may be, all I'm saying is the majority of scale is these dudes are not benefiting from getting with these women because the women still can put them on child support at the end of the day. And they weren't even the father of the kid. A buddy of mine was telling who came out of the studio.
I think that's crazy. That you would even like, that's just crazy. That's a whole other topic, but that's just crazy.
Well, that comes to the weak man part. Like he you know what I mean? He was weak. It wasn't her. You know what I mean?
Well, how do you put someone on child support that's not even the dad? I don't understand that.
Well, we ain't
gonna DNA test and then you wouldn't have to do it.
That's a weak bitch that put a man on child support that is not the dad.
No, that's a weak nigga.
I don't know how that
his ass should be doing a DNA test to find out if it's his or not. Because if it ain't, then he don't have to fucking pay no damn.
Exactly.
That's all like.
He bent over backwards and took it up the ass.
Especially if he didn't.
Not the dad. No, it still goes on the female because if she does not, if she knows he's not the dad, then she's supposed to stop him. So now that makes her money hungry.
That's just an ain't shit. That's just an ain't shit. I don't excuse my French, but that's just an ain't shit bitch. If she doing shit, that type of shit, fool, like straight up. But
deadbeat
yeah. I don't know. That shit burnt out because a nigga should have put himself in that situation. Only way a nigga who child it ain't, it's not they child and they paying the child support is if they went and put their fucking name on the fucking what you call it, the birth certificate.
Mm-hmm.
And if they did that, they stupid. Knowing it ain't there.
You remember Jason, right? You remember Jason?
Who?
Maybe J-Bone. Remember Jason?
I thought he don't exist no more. That's why I said who.
He don't. Yeah. Okay. I got you. But look.
Slow.
So this nigga found out his son is not his. DNA and everything, right?
Damn. But he on the birth certificate.
That's what the court said.
What?
Even though it's not his, because he took care of that motherfucker.
Is he on the birth certificate?
That don't even make sense.
He's not on the birth
certificate. There you go. Come on, Walt. Preach that shit. Preach that shit. Come on, Walt.
because he took care of him so long, he's liable.
Now, what if he was the stepdaddy?
In a court, in like the law. I can't hear his sound.
So it doesn't matter, nigga, what it is, nigga, because he took care of that motherfucker for so long. They made him reliable. He's liable to take care of him, even though it came out that he's not his child.
Well, I guess it's different strokes for different folks because my father went through the same shit.
It's law, nigga.
Listen, fool. Listen, fool. My father, Big Tone, nigga. When he found out that my brother wasn't his, nigga, my brother was 16 years old, fool. They made him stop paying child support and all that on the set, like for real.
Right, but he wasn't. Right, but he wasn't
and all that on us.
Right, but Tone, he wasn't taking care of him. Like you get what I mean? Like when he meant taking care of him, like you was involved in his life. You was around this kid. You get what I mean? That's what when they mean like you've been in. That's what they look at, and that's how they attack it to you. Okay, cool. Yeah, you don't have DNA, but the only father he really know is you, and you've been involved in his life so long. So hey, my guy, you got to take. Until we get the father, the real
that person
father.
Either didn't have a lawyer or was representing himself, because that doesn't sound correct.
It may don't. I know it sounds. That's the system for you. That's the system. That's what we talk about. The system. You get what I mean? That's what we talk about. And women don't see it. They don't see the world through men's eyes. And it's not for the cool. I get it, but. Like when we say it, it's like, oh, that's not true. That's not true. Whatever. I don't. And it's like, no, that's actually fact. That's what we actually are going through. Now, there may be some men who are unknown to the law.
They ignorant of the law and shit. And if you ignorant of the law, that's on you. That's how the fucking system works too. If you ignorant to it, that's on you. They ain't gonna put it out there for you. They gonna let you know they gonna fuck you over.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Deadbeat mothers exist. Here's my definition of what a deadbeat mother is. If your personal relationship's failing, no matter what those personal issues are, or no matter whose fault it is, and you take the kid away from his father over personal issues, you are a deadbeat mom. If the father's doing everything that he should be doing as a father to his kid, regardless of the relationship status, and you take the kid away from him, you are a deadbeat mom. If this man is a provider, if this man is physically, mentally, and emotionally and financially involved in this kid's life, and you take the kid away from him because you're mad he don't want to give your funky ass no money, you are a deadbeat mom. Stop using your kids for financial gain. Stop using your kids as a goddamn weapon every time you and your man get upset. And this is coming from a married man who has all 7 of my kids in my house full time. Get it together, deadbeat.
That's facts.
Truth.
No, but he gotta have money though. He gotta be paying all the bills.
That's what he said. He did say that. He mentioned a lot of things. Taking care of the child.
Like when you say
I bet he don't live. Hey, I want to know if he live in LA.
It don't matter because it's like that around the whole
when you say deadbeat dad, hold on, I have a question. When you say deadbeat dad, does any of those thoughts come to you use your child as a weapon for the other party? Why is that now flipped around the other way? Because that's not what I think of being a deadbeat dad.
I don't know. I think honestly, to me, I think this is a video of a person's opinion, and for me, I don't know. I think
a horrible person, but I don't necessarily think a deadbeat mom.
Right, and I think a deadbeat is like me because I come from whatever. I think deadbeat's a little different. I think a little darker with a little deadbeat. I think even me. I think if the person is trying, right, even if they're putting foot forward, or they're trying every obstacle to, like, you get what I mean? I give that a lot of credit than a person saying, oh, they got to come through financially, or they got to come through, you know what I mean? All this. Just if you're trying, you might not be the greatest, whatever, but you're trying. To me, that's, you know what I mean? That lets me know a lot. Okay, cool. Like, I don't think, you know what I mean? Yeah. I look at that as honorable. You know what I mean? Because you're at least putting the foot forward. You're at least trying to make it better, right? You might not be, you know what I mean, there all the way, but, you know, like,
but not doing it simply because you don't give a fuck or you don't want to at all. Like, that's deadbeat as fuck. Like deadbeat. Like, straight up.
Like for my wife, for instance, like,
not having no desire.
The way I pay, but check, the way I pay bills is not
because he can't deal with the mama. That's
deadbeat. That's low down dirty shame.
That's deadbeat as fuck. Oh, I can't fuck you. Well, fuck that kid.
That ain't my circle. But for instance, when it comes to like bills or whatever, see, like what I like is that I at least try. My wife at least try, right? And she every day she put a foot forward towards those things to make things better, right? Just like, you know, I mean, we both try. I pay bills different than the way my wife pay bills. I pay bills in months or 6 months, or because I don't like worries. I hate shit over my head, right? I hate the whole month to month thing. I think that's brain racking. You know what I mean? So me, I like to do things months ahead of time. So a lot of times my time could look like I'm chilling and I'm hanging, but that's because I'll put in so much time, work, to pay off a huge long list of the year, right? And that's just my workflow. My wife never really understood that workflow. So there's things that you may have to understand, like getting with people and working with people. There's things that you may have to understand, and that aspect of, like, you know, when we come to like talking about being a deadbeat or whatever, at least you're putting the foot forward, you know what I mean, and working towards making it better. I don't, you know, so my bar in the deadbeat world, like when we talk about deadbeats, is pretty, I would say it's pretty low, because just the trying part. People who's trying, other people like, no, they still a deadbeat. No, they still a deadbeat, right? I'm like, he at least trying, or she at least trying. You know what I mean? Like, we can't give them that much.
If you made one phone call a week, that's fine.
You ain't said nothing in a while.
Hold on, Nyla said something. My bad, Walt. Nyla said something.
Nah, I said if you could just make one phone call a week or every 2 weeks, you making a phone call, that's trying. That's something.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
If you can even do that, you are clearly a deadbeat.
Right.
Like, not even no money you can ask for.
Right.
Why are weak men such a problem?
Well, weak people are a problem. And I don't mean physically weak. I mean cowardly, let's say, and deceitful. Well, there's a variety of reasons. First of all, if you can't support your own weight, let's say, then someone else has to do it. And that's not good. And then if you don't pick a forthright and useful and noble pathway through life, then you'll become bitter and too hurt by the tragedy of existence. And then you tend to seek your revenge wherever you can get it. And that's not good. So it's a mistake on all fronts. It's not good for you. It's not good for your family. It's not good for the community. It's certainly not a good medium to long-term strategy, because life is very, very difficult, and you have to be prepared for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So I definitely agree. It's weak-minded people, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
But you know, but just so people don't think like, think people who get with other people are weak. It's not that I don't think it's. I think if the person had the means to do this better, and they chose different, then the decisions they make could make them look less desirable to most. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking at, right? Because our decision shapes how people look at us in perspective. It was a very great quote I heard that said, you show me the woman you got and I'll show you your wealth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A man is determined by the woman he has. A woman is determined by how long she keeps that man. So now many people can use that and say, oh wow, but that's just what I've heard. That's like, wow, that's deep. Mm-hmm. And a man is tested by his value. You want to see if your man is a cheater, habitual, and he's been a good man, let some real value come through. Let some real money come in that place. Let some real, you know what I mean? Then now he's being tested on his loyalty. Because now he has so much value to access and the options to do whatever he wants to do now. Now his loyalty is now to be tested. And a woman's loyalty is tested while he's going up that ladder. How long you stay with that man? Because generally women like, you're not doing it, I'm getting off of this train. You're not doing it, I'm getting off of this. Right? I think like the highest rate of divorce by women, filed by women, is due to financial reasons. So a lot of women get off the boat, you know? And then when you look at that, it's kind of like determines who she is. Right? Mm-hmm. And they be like, well, he wasn't pulling his weight and he wasn't being a man that he's supposed to be. You know.
Strong women intimidate weak men. And a lot of weak men tend to be narcissistic men. And these men don't look at you as a partner. They look at you as competition. And the only way to make themselves feel better is to try to make you feel like you aren't good enough. So he belittles you. He lies, he cheats, he does anything he can to break you so he can feel like he's above you. But he won't let you leave because deep down he knows that you are a good woman and he doesn't want a good man to get his hands on you. Because see, when you meet a strong man who is confident in who he is, you are no longer competing. You are working together as a team.
Dude, that is fact.
I've been seeing that video. I've been seeing that video. Like all
I hate these Derek Jackson ass motherfuckers, man. That was so pandering.
That was bullshit.
That was pandering. Like
that
was pandering. You know what that was? It was to soothe your ear. That was the snake getting you to bite the apple.
Yeah, I'm so high. I didn't understand.
With that being said, y'all, thank you for joining Ladies Night. I love everybody. Thank you so much. I thank you for our new co-host or stopping in, whichever that turns out to be. Nyla, I love you. Trisha, I love you. Jay Smooth, you're amazing. Walt, you're awesome.
Love you.
And I just thank everybody for tuning in, speaking your mind. Thank you so much.
So.
We'll see y'all next Saturday. Bye, y'all.
All right, Jazz, you have a good one.